Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, you're tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Yo, you tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Yo, what's up, and welcome to another episode of Unnamed Sports Show right here on Gorilla Cross Radio, streaming live on GorillaCross.com and the Gorilla Cross app, also Facebook Live, Periscope, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. We're everywhere. We're live everywhere, so make sure you guys tune in and call us up, 702-608-3259. We do have a big show for you today. We have a lot to talk about, and a lot MMA, UFC, NBA, a lot going on everywhere in sports. We're going to talk about Dak's contract, potential contract, and all that as well. Right here on Gorilla Cross Radio, Unnamed Sports Show, broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas. Unnamed Sports Show is powered by Precharge.
It's not time for the read yet. It's just not.
It is.
It is not time
It
for
is.
the read.
We've been doing it at the wrong time. It's all good. We'll do the read later.
Yes.
But we are powered by Precharge. I'm your host, Quan59.
Guess he showed you.
Wearing my Golden Knights shirt. They won tonight in overtime. They just now won, so that's why we're a little late. We're getting the show because we weren't watching it at all. But it sounded good. Got my man, Killer Cream, in the building. What's good?
What's up, man? Happy to see the fellas again. It's been a couple
It's been
weeks.
a while, man.
Yeah, it's been a couple
Fellas.
weeks. Ow.
Can you say it like sing it like in a Queen style, like Killer Queen, but Killer Cream?
Killer Cream.
I mean,
I'm stuck.
my
I
name's in
don't
a
know.
lot of songs, so yeah. Don't blame me, blame the artist. Is there a problem? Something happened?
Oh no! No! So you're just gonna stop mid. All right. We have Death Star Dave in the building, in the booth.
Back at it.
I got a lot of stuff going on over here,
It's
bro.
been
I know you.
bit.
You doing all right, Dave?
I'm getting by.
Dave,
Getting
always
by.
happy to see you. Always happy.
Talib Kweli.
Josh said before the show you love Dave more than anything.
Anything. Dave's a great
Wow.
guy.
Right after you
Dave
talking
is not a
about,
great guy, but
No.
I do appreciate the love, Josh. I love you too.
Hey,
Aw.
Dave, you are a great guy. Why don't you feel like you're a great guy?
You guys sound like Dana White and Tom Brady right now with all the love.
Honestly, you really don't feel like you're a great guy.
Oh,
No.
Lord, no.
Boy, this is
Dave,
like where I
definitely
thought
don't
this
think
was
so.
going.
Dave, you are. Let's
Okay.
move on.
If you guys tuned in for sports, that will be coming up next hour, but we are in the
It's the motivational hour.
if you don't quit wearing these Cubs shirts in basketball season.
It's Cubs time, baby.
No,
I
it's gonna be-
obviously
it's
went to
NBA
It's
we're
not
in the,
yet
we're in the
Cubs time.
heat of March Madness and NBA. Anyways,
Not
Death
March
Star
Madness
Dave.
yet.
Death Star Dave. It's March. Death Star Dave in the
Literally March
building.
Madness, like the tournaments are
How you
starting.
feeling, Dave?
Like I told Josh, I'm getting by. I'm getting by, man.
All right, I was hoping it'd be different for me.
Well, you obviously don't love him as much.
Love you, Dave. We love you. We love you.
We heart Dave.
Make it emotional.
Gorilla Cross.
No, you're not.
Gorilla Cross loves Dave. Got just in time. Josh in the building. He ran in the door at 8:24.
Rented.
Pow, pow.
And I walked in, and it was still,
I
it
did.
was still late. It was still late
Slow, 'cause
24.
I was still
It was still late
24.
24.
Well,
me
I
tell you
sauntered
later.
in slowly because I figured I didn't see Josh's car. I was like, well, I saw his thing saying he was going to be late. And if Josh says he's going to be late, that's
Yeah.
like 9 o'clock minimum. And then I walk in, it's like, oh, Josh is here? Oh, whoops.
Yep.
Whoops.
Still first
Josh
in the
closed,
booth.
Josh closed the gate on me, man. He's trying to have a one-on-one today.
He closed the gate
He
on
closed the gate on me.
I honestly didn't see him. He was like, I was right behind you. I was like, oh. He's like, I saw you sprinting in.
Nah, he was huffing it.
That's how much he wanted to get here on time.
Yeah.
I don't want to know the red lights he
Oh,
ran.
people got cut off. Oh, people were definitely cut off on the highway for sure.
Man,
Not a question.
evidently
appreciate
today
that, though.
CPT meant Caucasian people time.
Whoa.
Nice job.
Listen, if you guys want to call in, hit us up 702-608-3259. We had a big weekend in sports. I'm still tired from this weekend. I need to quit working other jobs when UFC's in town because it's a lot.
Too much.
But we are here. We're live. This was a great UFC card. It ended up being great. The final fight wasn't that great.
No, not at all.
So we're going to talk about all that right now. Let's jump into UFC first. Were you guys able to watch everything? Have you seen the fights? And what are your thoughts?
I saw the last two. I mean, I saw them kind of bootleg replayed. I'll go with the main event first.
Wow, snitch on yourself there, huh?
Yeah, well,
I mean,
the main event first. The main event was awful. I thought that was an incredibly underwhelming fight. And people were like, well, Romero won that fight. I was like, did he? I didn't feel like he did enough to win anything.
But I will say that the fight was in front of him to win.
Oh,
No, definitely.
He
It was in
absolutely
front
could
of
have
him
won
to
that
win.
fight. He
What-
very easily
He
could have
had
won
that
that fight.
one rally where he got Izzy up against the cage, and I'm like, oh, he could finish this.
Yeah, yes.
And he just said, well, done enough.
yeah, and then backed up again,
Like,
and it
what
was
do you-
like, bro, you
There-
need to.
There are times when Izzy's like in front of him, like, okay, I want you to do so. Because understand, Izzy's the champ. So you got to come get it for me, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and there's been some people online. I haven't really heard anybody that knows what they're talking about really say that Romero should have won the fight or that Israel was running. Of course, you're going to run out of the way when you're getting hit. So
Yeah.
I don't think it was a case of him running for the throughout the fight. You're not going to run into this guy's punches. He has one thing that he does: hits hard.
mhm.
So you're not going to take the bait and just run into that because he's fighting slow and not bringing it to you. Israel fought the fight he should have fought with what Romero was doing. Romero, with those hits, you're right. I mean, I think he could have just went in on him more with hitting him because he knocked him, especially the first round. He got him good.
Yeah.
And I think if he would have kept being aggressive, he could have possibly won the fight.
Mm.
But then again, Israel takes those too. He'll let you come in on him, and then that's when he starts going back on you. But the fight, I thought the first, round was going to be like that. When I saw Romero
Right.
start out like that, okay, he's kind of baiting him. He's kind of going to try to frustrate him.
Yeah.
When I saw him still doing that in the second and third, and the crowd's getting louder and louder, and then I think it was the third round, near the end of the round, everyone's cell phones in the arena came up with the flashlight.
Yeah.
And they both got booed pretty heavily.
I think as well they should have. It's a
Definitely,
championship
definitely.
fight. You're the main event, and especially after the fight they had to follow to come out with that. It's like that fight before that
Yeah,
should have
that-
pumped you up to go and have a fight.
Exactly.
That really made it worse.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they actually watched that fight, but that really.
They have TVs on everywhere. I mean, maybe they didn't
Right,
see the
right,
who
right,
fight,
but
but
I'm
they
saying
knew
they-
what was going on.
they-
Nothing else,
I'm
you
s-
heard the crowd.
Yeah,
I'm
they knew what
assuming
was
they
going
go
on
dark,
with it.
like probably right before
Yeah.
their fight or
Probably.
whatever. I would assume so, because they get to do the last second preparations.
Yeah.
A couple things. One, like, Izzy's a counter puncher. We all know that. You want the belt, you gotta go at him. You gotta go do it. I mean, that's what he's gonna do. And if Romero it's only a one trick pony, I'm not gonna blame Izzy for staying away from that one trick.
Yeah.
Two, even if that's the case, well, okay, it's 2 rounds, 3 rounds. Now you're down 2-1. You're just gonna keep doing the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
that's on you at this point, because if it stays status quo, you don't have the belt.
And
you're
with somebody
42.
with a reach like Adesanya has, what am I going to do to win this? Leg strikes. That's all I got to do. If he's not going to do anything else, and that's the problem with a lot of fans. They don't realize those leg strikes are as significant as the big punches that might look more exciting. But if you kick somebody 45 times in that same leg, you're getting points for that, and your leg looks beat up, even though in the press conference at the end he danced around to prove that he wasn't hurt.
No, I mean, listen, we've seen guys after Contender Series that have won the fight, and they've broken their foot or they've heavily hurt themselves in doing the leg strikes and doing the leg kicks. It hurts both ways.
And if he could dance after the fight, why couldn't he come forward during it?
Seriously.
Exactly.
Good Lord.
And the whole time during the post-fight conference, he's just talking about how Adesanya was a ghost and he was running the whole time and all this stuff. And
then
it's like,
chase him. But and a big portion of fighting is not getting hit.
Exactly.
Especially when I saw how outraged he was after, I'm like, all right, you're faking it now. You're just, you know that you're going to say what the crowd wants to hear, that he was running, and they're going to be on your side because, let's be honest, everybody doesn't watch MMA like we do.
Yeah.
And he's going to get people on his side by saying that. But come on, man. I don't want to hear he ran, because if he ran, then you knew that running is what he does, and you decided to take the fight thinking that you'd be the guy who would stop him no matter what he does. Yeah. And you didn't.
At all. And defense is part of, fighting. We've seen that with Floyd Mayweather, and that's people don't like Mayweather for doing something that helps him win it every time. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like Adesanya fights this fight all the time. He's never done this.
It's just one boring fight, and this is Romero's like fourth.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So
Romero's known for doing this.
Yeah,
He's known for starting slow and trying to bait you in.
Uh-huh.
And guess what? That's a good technique if it works, but it didn't work this time.
But it also hasn't worked like his last 3 losses.
Not big fights. No, it hasn't.
Every time he's got a big fight in front of him, he just...
Well, and Paulo Costa, in August, he was going after him, though. He wasn't going to let that happen because he knew he could hit through that. He could hit with him, and that was actually a great fight, though. That was less of Romero trying to do that because Paulo Costa wouldn't let it happen. But he also took that chance of he took a lot of hits in that fight, too, to where he's still not medically clear to fight.
Yeah, the Whitaker fight was like that, too.
Yeah.
He actually fought.
Yeah.
But what we saw Saturday was just for 5 rounds.
And I was cool with it the first round. I knew what was going on.
Right.
I saw it, even though people were still booing. I'm like, I know what's going on. Mm-hmm. He's trying to frustrate still a young fighter. He just got his 8th win in the UFC.
And listen, like I said, Adesanya didn't do anything that was so out of this world. Like, oh, he won that round. Every round was right. All it took, look, if Romero would have given a flurry every round, he would have won.
He could have won,
or just closed out strong every round.
Yeah, like one flurry would win the fight.
Yeah,
every round. If you did that once a round, it was because it was that boring of a fight. He could have stolen the fight just off of sheer volume.
Easily.
And I feel like the thing that we're talking about, defense part of it, I think that's the only part that Romero paid attention to was the defense part.
Yeah.
All he was worried about was don't get hit, and then just wait, get your chance, and then explode.
Yeah.
And when he never really got that explosion, it was like, okay, well, maybe we should be telling you there's more to a fight than just defense.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. And Dana White mentioned it after the fight. For somebody that's his age, that's getting a title shot, to fight like that, he'll never get a title shot again.
That's what I'm saying. He's 42.
Unless he possibly moves up to heavyweight or something like that. But
that's a big leap.
It's a big leap. That was his chance to get a title. This is somebody that's been fighting for a long time that's never had a title.
Right.
And so for him to go into that and fight like that, I think that's what made even more people upset. Like, they gave you a chance when you weren't even next up.
You weren't even next up.
They should have waited for Paulo Costa.
Izzy asked for that fight.
Yeah.
He didn't need that fight. And that's another thing. Even if he moves to heavyweight, he's 42 now. He moves to heavyweight.
He wants to fight for 10 more years.
Fight at 44?
Now, he's not fighting in the UFC for 10 more years. I'll tell you that right now.
Is he going to join TB12?
He could fight.
He still looks good.
He does. He's not fighting for 10 more years, though.
Yeah, but he doesn't. By no means does he look 42.
And if he gets touched with heavyweight power, that's a very different kind of power.
You keep throwing 4 times around, you look like you're 42.
Yeah.
And it looks like you can't get off.
He's heavyweight power in middleweight division. So now if you move up, now you're just
kind of just another guy.
You're just a guy, and you're a small guy.
Yeah.
Because he's only 6 feet.
He looks like a tank, though. It's crazy.
He doesn't.
It's crazy
look
looking
like
at him.
His shoulders start from his earlobes.
It's crazy looking at him and Izzy and be like, yeah, they're in the same weight class.
Same
like,
division.
Are you kidding me?
No, they're not.
No, they're not by the time that fight happened. They weren't.
I think the crazier thing to me is that a lot of people are talking about Izzy calling out John Jones.
He needs to stop.
And I think that is a horrible. I mean, Jones looks vulnerable right now, so I get trying to build your name up. But yeah, that would be an awful fight for him.
I can't remember if we talked about that on air last week. Was that last week that we talked about that on air, or was that like off? Where we basically were just saying how when you look at Adesanya, he is a smaller built guy. His frame is small. John Jones walks around at 240, 230. He gets down to 205.
Yeah.
Adesanya would have to be putting on weight just to get up to 205.
100%.
It's not a it's.
I think it would be a hideous decision for him. But I mean, but for his name, realistically, you're in MMA, everybody's gonna lose.
Yeah, and honestly, if people stop taking fights because people thought it was a bad fight for him, he would never get fights.
Yeah.
I mean,
true.
I think for him to build up name recognition, I think it's a great fight because realistically, I mean, you catch a miracle, you're another one of these 2 division champs, and you're undefeated, and you beat John Jones, the best of all time. If you lose to John Jones, he was way out of your weight. He was way out of your weight class anyway. And I mean, you get lauded because you took the risk.
But also, like you said, he's a smaller middleweight, but he's really young. So as the years go on, he's not going to lose weight.
But he's
going to gain it.
He's 30.
He's 30?
Yeah, he's not.
I think Adesanya's 28.
I think he's 30. That was what shocked me because like I was like
30?
he ain't that young like because it kept coming out that
for MMA.
It's still
he is 30. He's 30, but that's still young. But
either way,
5 or 6
as the years go on, he's not going to lose weight. He's just going to gain it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he's going to go down and get that belt.
But he was a kickboxer for a long time before he even jumped into MMA. So that's where he's been. So there's still a lot of raw talent there with MMA.
That's where that cartwheel came from, Lord.
But I mean, he's 19-0 right now. He hasn't lost in MMA. He's 8-0 in the UFC. I think he wants to be undefeated. So that John Jones fight, I don't think that would even happen at the right time when it does. I think it's going to be when John Jones is already on his way out, which to me that'll look like the Anderson Silva fight.
But by the way, I think John Jones on the way out is soon.
What?
Seeing his fights recently?
It's fair.
I think. Well, he's fighting different. Yeah, I mean, he is fighting different. But
he's being more defensive now.
Yeah, he's way more defensive now because these guys are big guys now. Like they just seem bigger, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, it's you as you were saying before. You got a lot of guys who instead of bulking up there are like guys that are a little too big for the weight class before it. Mm-hmm. Now you have heavyweights dropping down, and I mean, you take those hits.
I don't think
he still wins the fights, but.
Well, and there's talk about John Jones even like going up to
heavyweight.
heavyweight and fighting Stipe whenever he's ready. I mean, he hasn't.
I think I'd rather see that fight too.
I would much rather see that fight.
Yeah,
he could fight Stipe, but outside of that, I start getting
also,
nervous.
When John Jones came in, man, he was just such an athlete, and guys are just such athletes now. He doesn't fight the same way because he can't out athlete these guys anymore. Plus, he's 31.
But I'm just saying for your comment about the heavyweights, like how many of the heavyweights you're saying you're okay with him fighting Stipe, but you worry about who else would you be scared of?
Stipe's the champion.
Not necessarily scared of, but I mean Stipe. I'll put it to you like this.
Matchup wise, I'll
put it to you like this. Stipe lost to Daniel Cormier. John Jones has well, and then he beat him, but it was another
Jones
close
never
fight.
Beat Cormier clean.
Yes, yeah.
Are you sure?
Not he's beating them without steroids.
Yeah, not steroids.
Yeah,
like
cocaine
I mean, cocaine, and then
cocaine
is
not clean, but
also not
it ain't performance enhancing.
Not a performance enhancing
he
drug.
He would have beaten Cormier under any circumstance.
It's definitely not performance enhancing.
He said I was high as a kite when I fought you, and I still won.
Yeah.
Like, but do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't have necessarily fear for other people.
And they also fought light heavyweight.
Yes, of course. But I mean, I don't have, the fear level isn't the same because I know what Daniel Cormier is versus Stipe.
Well, Cormier is older too, so you're looking at the younger guys, I think. And Stipe, I mean, he handled Cormier last fight. Cormier did some things that he shouldn't have done.
I think it was the flip side. Stipe was winning the first fight and then got beat. And then Cormier was winning the second fight and then got beat.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily handled. It was a good fight, but it was he made
both fights
some
were reversals of what was going on in the fight.
Yeah.
I don't think either one of them is. if I had to choose, I would probably say Cormier would beat Stipe more times than the other way around. But we're talking about what 52-48. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
It's
it's
but
they're a close matchup.
I know the next John Jones fight is a rematch with Reyes. And then Adesanya is going to fight Paulo Costa.
Is it really?
Yeah. I mean, it was a good fight. It was close. There's some people that thought Reyes.
I think there's a difference between good fights and close fights. Exactly. I think it was a close fight, not a good fight.
Fair.
Still entertaining. I mean, it wasn't like
Jones. It was intense.
Jones didn't seem healthy to me.
But that's the problem. I don't think he necessarily will be. He's not going to be the same John Jones we saw 5 years ago. Ever again, I don't think. He's older now. He went through a lot.
31. Been through a lot of wars too.
Yeah. So I
That
don't think he will.
I just feel like
I'm cool with the rematch though.
The rematch has to happen with the way the UFC does it. I think that he's coming close to a loss. I don't think that loss is Reyes, but that loss is somebody.
I just don't like the idea of Reyes getting rewarded for fighting like a not
I hear you.
manly person last time.
I still have to watch that fight.
You only do this as a hobby. It's cool.
I mean, it's
Didn't
just
you write about that fight.
No, I didn't write about that.
There's a certain portion with him where it's just like, I get having strategy, but like just making a fight bad sometimes isn't great strategy.
Yeah. Listen, bro, I've been moving, and my life has been in disarray for about a good 2 months.
Yeah, the listeners don't care about that.
No, they don't.
Back to your article you wrote.
I'm also moving this week. I bet I still watch sports. Anyway,
You're moving right now, and I'm still talking about sports.
In your neighborhood.
Are you?
Back to my neighborhood.
Wait, where are you moving to?
Cactus and
Talk
Jones.
about that, fair.
They don't talk
Nice.
yeah, please don't stop me.
Don't put that on the world.
It could be. Anyway.
People don't know me.
Anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of sports
Yeah,
to
they
talk
do.
about.
They
I
do
don't
know
think they care about where Cream's moving.
I care, Kareem.
Well, that's why you can talk about it off air in a regular conversation when you take him to work.
Okay. Just not tonight.
Just not today.
Maybe Thursday.
Pick him up tomorrow.
Not just randomly picking up Kareem. I like him. He's a good guy.
Wow, you're only liked
those things are true.
while Dave is loved.
It's all right.
That sounds like racism to me.
Tell me about it.
No, Dave needs the love.
I'm hard to get.
Kareem has a child that he loves and loves him back eternally.
And I just told him where she lives. Thank you for that.
What? Was that snitching? He talks about the child on the show. He's done it before.
No, you pretty much said Dave has no one that loves him, and that's the only reason you love him.
Correct. That is definitely what you said.
Dave has no kids that love him or that love him back.
Except for the kids that love him.
I'm
that
just
he
saying.
loves back.
And he loves
I'm just
back.
saying.
No, you said exactly what you said.
No,
that
that's
the
what you
reason
said.
you love
I said
Cream
what I said.
is because
You said
Cream
what you
gets
said.
love and Dave doesn't get love.
Dave
Yeah.
doesn't. Dave needs the love. Kareem doesn't need
Like
as much.
LL?
Says who? See that right there?
You don't show the pain the same way.
I don't do wallow.
Dave doesn't really show the pain.
Oh, Dave shows the pain. You got to look at his eyes.
He looks happy to me.
Look at the eyes, Manolo.
Wow,
The
you're
eyes
making it
don't
really
lie.
Weird. Now you maybe want me to look at his. No, I'm not doing that.
I don't have nice eyes. It's not worth it.
Mine
Josh will let everybody know
dark.
what he thinks of your eyes.
I will not. I will not. It was good eyes.
No mint condition over here. No pretty brown eyes.
See, that's why we
thank you.
talk about these things. See, it goes off on a good
Yeah, I'm
tangent.
sure that was a real breakthrough for Dave. Anyway,
yeah, exactly. He's healed.
Yeah.
I was actually
That's all he needed.
I was actually talking about
that's actually holy water coming from his eyes. Thanks.
Wave your jacket at me, Benny Hinn.
Oh my God, we have to bring back Monique. I was actually talking to somebody the other day about it, and they love that.
So for that one person, we'll bring back
we'll do
the
that.
broken chain.
Yeah.
The chain that you took all the links off of?
Pretty much.
It wasn't me.
It's a choker now.
Okay, Shaggy.
It became a
I actually
wristband.
figured out how to do it. It was Steve. Steve broke it, and
Blame the black guy that's not here. You're
Yeah,
typical,
wow.
I'm blaming the black guy that wasn't here. I'm blaming the black guy that did it.
typical light skinned people.
Wow.
Wow.
No,
And
that
then
is
you're gonna
actually
get on my
called.
baby this twice?
That is called snitching though. Like what you just did, that actually was literal snitching.
Well, yeah, I got
Josh,
blamed. I'm
Josh,
gonna just
okay.
say
It's not how you handle that is. Well, I don't know who did. I just know what me.
Shaq did it.
Yep.
Welcome to Mamba Mondays.
that's not right.
We'll have a Kobe quote every Monday.
You're supposed to be
That was
holding
definitely
Shaq
one.
did it.
That
That's
was
the one.
That's the one.
But no,
Like
it was,
Shaq
I
did.
should have done like Shaq
Like
did.
Shaq did.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know
Yeah,
exact
yeah,
quote.
yeah. That we're gonna talk about the quote. Talk about it.
Tell me how much.
He was supposed to pay people off.
I mean,
all right. Back to UFC 248.
Wrong mentality, baby.
Adesanya versus Paulo Costa, probably in July for fight week. What do you guys think about that fight?
If Adesanya fights the way he just fought, he will lose. Will lose.
He won't, because he won't fight
It's not going to fight.
He won't fight a terrible dance partner like he did.
Just saying, if the roles were reversed and it was the exact same fight, he would have lost that fight.
The roles are reversed.
Paulo Costa's not going to stand in the center of the ring cage like that.
Well, see, we don't know how he would have fought because he was waiting for Romero to attack so he can counter it. So we don't. So he can still fight that way against Costa. But now we get to see what his counter is going to be.
Anybody that thinks Adesanya should have charged into him is just wanted to see him lose.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a recipe for a knockout.
Yeah, you're not doing that. So he fought how he was supposed to fight that fight.
It just made it a bad fight.
Yeah.
And some guys are always going to have bad fights.
Paulo Costa actually got kicked out before
he did
Adesanya's post-fight in-cage interview because he jumped over the railing and the security took him out. But he thought he was jumping over the railing to get in the ring to
he thought it was
promote the next fight.
Yeah.
Like WWE. And he ended up getting kicked out by T-Mobile security.
Maybe nobody told him.
Yeah.
This is awkward.
He actually came into the press room afterwards and during Dana White's end of the fight conference, and
by the way, guys,
he actually got in and
sorry, I'm not a jerk.
Spoke and was just saying he really wants to fight and he'll handle him and
I've never heard anybody say, you know what,
I'm gonna lose.
I'm kind of lukewarm on this.
Yeah,
this guy can really knock me out.
But I think that'll be a really good fight. And I think that could be Israel's first loss, but
that's what I'm gonna say. I don't think he'll be undefeated by the time he gets to John Jones, if that ever happens.
It's hard to stay undefeated.
Tough division. And he's got a very high wire fighting style. At any moment he can get caught.
Do you think that's
good? And he actually gets hit.
Do you think that's a good fight, him and Paulo Costa?
I think it's great. I think it's a great fight.
Yeah.
Well, because Costa will throw the things that you need to throw when you are a counter fighter.
Yeah.
So he has things to work with, but it also means that there's going to be action.
Yeah.
Both directions.
And I don't see Izzy as having struck as much fear in people to where they're afraid to. They're afraid to fear, when it was Anderson Silva, it was like, no, I'm not going into his game. No way. I'm just gonna sit back here. I'm not playing his game. I think people have seen Izzy be hit before, and they're like, all I gotta do is tag him.
And the word on Izzy is he fights down to his opponents too. He fights his opponent's fight because Anderson Silva at that age
taking head
to go the distance.
Goodness, yeah,
that shouldn't have been a decision fight. If you're the next Anderson Silva, like a lot of people want to say he is, which I think he could be great. I do think there's more he needs to work on.
Can't call him the next Anderson Silva.
Exactly.
Because Anderson Silva in his prime, nobody was beating.
Well, and Anderson Silva in his old age barely lost a decision. So
lost a leg. Shoot.
Yeah. Next fight, let's talk about these women. We had, we put up the flyer and Joanna, I literally watched her head grow.
No, yeah, that was bad.
Joanna needs some Advil.
For sure.
And some ice.
Guess who got out of the hospital first, Joanna or
Joanna get that head checked?
Who do you think got out of the hospital first?
Joanna got out first just because you said it. Just because you said it. You said that.
They both went to the hospital, so we didn't get the post-fight with either of them, which I was upset about.
Zenga also got...
Listen, man.
What else are you going to tell her? Hey, to put some ice in it. It's nothing I can do for you. I'm not going to drain your head.
Zeng's face wasn't right.
They had to make sure there was no fractures
Joanna's
in there.
face was different. Her head size was different.
Yeah.
Bro, she looked like the dude off of Star Trek. It was crazy. The daggone alien with the butt on his face. Yeah.
She looked like a Klingon. She looked like a lot of different things.
The American Dad alien.
And I don't think she realized what she looked like until Joe Rogan started interviewing her. She looked up at the screen and tried to cover her head.
Yeah.
And I felt bad.
With what? Tarp?
With a flag.
Oh, gosh.
With her country's flag, with the whole entire
country?
She tried to cover with her countrymen.
All of Poland.
We've seen people's lips bust open. We've seen people's eyes busted open.
This was a bad one.
We've seen them look like they have another mouth on their eye. I've never seen anybody. She looked like somebody that got in a car accident.
When I first looked at it,
nobody told her.
Is that what a car accident looks like?
Yeah.
When I first looked at it, I literally was like, oh
yeah.
I didn't know what was going on because I like I said, I caught the end of that fight, and like when I turned it on, I was like, Jesus, what's up? Am I tripping?
Head?
I was like, is my phone messing?
No, for real. Like I thought, like I got a bad stream.
No, it was
stitching on myself.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, I streamed as well.
Hey.
Well, we were there live when we saw her head just grow like this. We're just looking like that really just happened.
That's not healthy.
That was
watched it grow just like that.
Because like when you see like the first welt, you're like, oh, that's not gonna be good. The rest of the fight.
Well, she hit her over here, and it kind of and she hit her right in the middle, and you just saw it like
yeah. So you gotta catch yourself looking at that welt, like, ooh, how's that gonna work out?
They joined forces and became a super welt.
Disappears. Oh, that's because the rest of you is swelling.
It's like when you're a kid and you put the microwave popcorn in there and you just watch through the window.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say the Jiffy Pop, but then all the young people would be like, "What's that?"
Jiffy Pop.
Jiffy Pop. Smooth in his fresh pop. Nope.
Whoa. But you know, it just like did that effect. But yeah.
They dad.
Anyways,
they want effect.
Her head was not right. It's still gross.
Thank you, Dave. That was good enough.
That's what she said.
No.
Oh, fair.
No.
I don't know if she would have said that.
No.
Well.
We're talking about UFC fighters.
Yeah.
Anyway, but what we were talking about with this fight, though, is
speaking of UFC fighters, Amanda Nunes and her wife are having a baby.
No, they're not.
So I'll punch you in the face. I'll punch you dead in the face.
I'll Google it.
No, they're not.
Google it.
No, they're not.
So anyway, it's the other girl that's a fighter. So she's done.
Someone's having a baby.
Well, Amanda's not going to be the one.
But that sentence is not correct.
All right, they're having a baby together.
But you could implant the fertilized egg in the other person, so that technically you're both like having a baby.
Turkey based.
You can do who?
Turkey baster.
Turkey.
I mean, I'm not gonna go to
That's it's sperm. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Gobble gobble.
All they need is a healthy donor.
So then it's not her. So.
Well, I mean, they're having a baby together with an unknown assailant.
They are having a baby together. That is correct. And
Congratulations.
I think it's beautiful.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Amanda Nunes is going to be a mom.
That's dope.
That's not. Not by yourself, is what I'm saying.
I won't do it. I won't allow it.
No, I'm saying not by herself.
I'm not gonna allow you to break me. Is what I'm not gonna allow you to do.
I'm saying she's not gonna be a mom by herself like this.
I will break you.
Josh, he'll break you.
No, I'm not gonna allow it to happen.
What?
I'm not gonna let it happen. Move on.
What happened? You still owe the bet. We have to figure out the new bet.
We have to figure out something.
You didn't bring. Look, you didn't call the bet, so I don't. I already was.
You didn't call a time limit.
I think the bet was awful.
Oh, the bet was terrible.
I mean, I think you do have to pay up.
Yeah, well, right. Call the bet.
It's a terrible bet.
I said call it.
The repercussions were just terrible.
For you, I'm okay.
For the child.
Yeah.
For the child, for the child's mom.
For whatever future career we want. It's terrible.
Or just like if there is possibly any such thing as karma, it would be really horrible for all of us on that one.
There isn't.
There is. Boy George told us.
Well, it's a chameleon though.
Comes and goes.
Sorry, how's that go?
Comes and goes.
I hate y'all so much.
Do you?
Yeah. Just like.
But I love Dave.
Just like Amanda Nunes' babies.
Did you guys think
comes and goes.
The winner of the women's fight was correct? Or does anybody think Joanna won that fight? Because it was super close.
Here's the thing. All right.
I don't think anybody would have been mad with it going either way. I really don't.
I think
it looked like Rocky 2 to me.
I think the winner was correct. What I don't like is every single highlight I've seen so far has made it look like Joanna was just getting washed the entire time. You know what I'm saying?
Not true.
It's like they're showing like 8-2 like highlights, which is actually 4-1 if you use real math that we learned a long time ago. But it's like they show like 4 great, you know what I'm saying, like highlights on one side and like 1 for the other, and I'm like, Nah, man, did y'all really watch this? Like, this was really back and forth.
They
Like,
were going back and forth.
So if
there was
anybody
many
didn't actually
times
see the
during
fight,
that fight where you thought both girls could have went down.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
they
and
did.
there were times where they-
sometimes on the same shot because they were
The
landing
ref
at the
was gonna
same
be like
time.
this.
and there were times where they almost did go down, but like within the same exchange, it was insane, man. Like, there's nothing we can really tell you to really pay like lip service to how good this fight was if you didn't see it. If you find a way to see this, man, just watch it, pretend like you don't know who won, and just watch it to watch it. It's definitely the best woman fight I've ever seen in my entire life.
And so we're saying that right now. There's the top two women are Amanda Nunes and Shevchenko.
Yes.
With that being said, there's a lot of women now with Wei Li and now Joanna with that fight, which will probably end up being a rematch sometime. The women's division is starting to, fill up a lot more with sellable, marketable names.
Rose
and,
is coming back.
Rose and Andrade are fighting next month in Brooklyn. Which you might be going to that.
I might be if I get the.
I think that was approved.
Okay.
Shout out Kenny Atkinson.
I didn't see it. It might have been today.
Maybe not.
Shout down, Kenny Atkinson.
Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, I got thoughts
Kenny
on that.
Atkinson won't be in Brooklyn for that fight.
No.
Oh, he might be.
Might be in Brooklyn.
probably
He just
not.
won't be.
He just won't be.
His swipe card ain't gonna work. the
If
same.
teams are smart, they'd be looking at
Yeah,
that guy.
we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But no, I mean there's a lot of names now in the women's division, and it's really happened the past year.
Yeah.
That you've got these women that came up with with marketable names now.
Well, yeah, especially when once Rose beat Joanna the first time, that was like.
Well,
I
because
mean-
Joanna wasn't losing to anybody there
Yeah.
at that stretch.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no.
Yeah, but I mean, especially me, I'm a huge Rose fan, and when that happened, it was like, okay, there are other people here
Yeah.
because Joanna was just that fight was pretty much sold on you watch the greatness of Joanna.
Yeah.
That's how that. That's
Plus,
how
her
that fight-
fights were being sold
Yeah,
because she
nobody
just
could touch
tore
her.
everybody up.
Yeah, and once that happened, and she won the rematch.
Yeah.
Maybe even more handily.
Oh yeah, she
More handily?
handled her in that second one.
But then
Handelier.
handlier, hand
Nope.
no. Anyway,
Like a chandelier? Chandelier? See ya?
Dang it, I can't remember.
how's that?
There he goes. You got it on that one. There went Josh.
Why didn't the window break? What happened here?
Well, we covered the windows for that reason.
Just for that purpose.
Good. That
Oh
was good.
boy! But then when Wei Li, almost paralyzed her, and she died for about 2 seconds.
Wow.
I was like, this is the third person, and now I have to watch Joanna again. Which at the time I thought I'd rather jump off of a building, but then I watched this fight, and now
Well, and then when you saw Joanna handle Dave's favorite fighter, the Karate Hottie.
How would that be my favorite fighter?
Well, because you hate the name.
it's
a terrible name.
It's a
Sarcasm.
great name.
It really is.
But that's the
she-
classes between Joanna and
Watterson is not
Sarah-
at that level.
No.
No.
She handled her. And that's, now she got this fight. And let's face it, Andrade was favored against Zhang in, where was it? It was in China.
In Shenzhen.
Shenzhen. Engine.
Shenzhen.
But she beat her in 42 seconds, and so that propped her name up, and they did a great job having that fight in China because you don't care about the U.S. market per se with her because you have China now.
She's bringing China.
Well,
You just got China.
do you though?
No, you do right now.
Well, yeah, the market definitely because they all got to watch the pay-per-view.
Right now. But
So,
I mean,
yeah,
but
definitely.
in terms of, that's the reason. Look, I'm trying to think of the name of the cable network in China, but basically it's like one network. No, I'm serious. It's like they have like one network, and that was basically who was.
State TV.
I'm so through with you. No, but that was basically who was bringing all the Yao Ming games, all the Houston Rocket games, all the Laker games.
Yeah. I know its
And
name.
so,
I don't remember it either.
You know what I'm saying? So now for the UFC, if that's also now being opened up, it's hundreds of millions of people watching that every day.
And you know what they're not watching anymore?
Anything.
NBA.
Well,
I think that's
They're
coming
not watching
back.
much of anything.
That's
anymore.
coming back. That blew over.
yeah.
Well,
That's what Silver said. Silver said that I'm sure it will eventually.
It took a hit, but it already started blowing over.
Yeah. I think they said like a week ago they still don't have NBA games.
They still don't have NBA games.
I read like the exact opposite.
I don't know where
the
you
games
think.
are back on.
I don't know where you think China is this flexible.
I don't.
Like
I understand that, but I'm just saying it's
they
just softened over that.
They just imploded one of their hotels that had a.
Oh yeah, that was real questionable. Did you see that?
Like they heard like.
It was like, oh yeah, it's the epicenter of the coronavirus, and there's a lot of people that are in there.
We're gonna quarantine everybody to this hotel and then
building
crush
just
the
fell.
hotel.
They freaking outbreak their own people.
Wasn't funny.
It's awful. Man.
That's horrible, but it's like outbreak.
You're crying in laughter that a whole bunch of Chinese people died.
No, wait. I'm not Steve, so thanks. Good try though.
Because Steve was.
Wait, hold on. Everybody that's watching can see that you're laughing right now.
It's hilarious. But look, no, I'm
it's
not
hilarious.
No, wait.
But I'm not laughing.
Let me explain why it's hilarious.
Kevin Hart.
Okay. It's hilarious because for me, the movie Outbreak, I love the movie Outbreak.
That was on this morning.
People died.
No, people. Well, they didn't barbecue the town. That was the best part of the movie. But the Chinese people, they did it to their own people. And then they tried to sell it off. I'm laughing more or less just by the fact that they think people are stupid enough to believe that, this perfectly fine building just fell and it happened to have a lot of people in it.
I've never been.
It was
there.
an older hotel.
Like that's what I'm not laughing at the death of people. I'm laughing at the hypocrisy that
what
you
about
actually
the death
think.
of the guy Jim Boeheim killed on the
That's
freeway?
still funny, and it's getting less funny every time you bring it up. But it is.
Are you sure?
Funny.
I mean, at least you're accomplishing something then.
I mean, it's just because it's.
Well, we're hoping to get to a point where it's not funny ever, but okay.
Well, no, it'll still
we'll
be
work
funny.
on that.
It'll still be funny. That's funny. It's funny.
It's not.
Listen,
not funny.
listen. It's
not
if
funny.
you get creamed, if you get in a car accident and you're concussed in the middle of a snowstorm and you stagger your concussed behind into the middle of the highway
You're
to flag
concussed.
someone down.
No.
Hey, bro,
Concussed.
you stagger the other way. Stagger to the woods. You'll stagger to
Stagger woods, y'all.
Stagger to the woods.
That was well timed.
That was pretty good.
That was well timed.
I was proud of that one.
Well,
yes.
staggering to the woods is a bad thing too. There's a rapper named Cannon. Him and my boy Derek Miner were helping a lady on the side of the road, and there was cars coming. It's not funny. I don't know where it's going to end up with me laughing. And there was cars coming, and so he tried to jump over the railing, and it was dark, and he thought it was like maybe a 2-foot drop, and it was like a 40-foot drop.
Jesus.
Oh, he's alive. He lives to tell.
Clearly, he did this for Josh's amusement.
No, I'm just saying how dangerous it is to just.
Josh's eyes are red.
That's horrible.
I don't understand.
That's horrible.
You're red.
Listen,
That's horrible.
if I pass away
tears
before
going down.
Josh,
I'm
if I
gonna
pass
tell
away
jokes
before
at
Josh,
the funeral.
no, that's not my.
Oh.
Don't invite him to the funeral.
Exactly.
No, Josh. Josh, when I pass, I want you to laugh hysterically through whatever proceeding you see fit.
He'll get kicked out.
I know.
my God.
I'm putting. In fact, I'm gonna put legal documents that Josh Williams is in charge of my funeral,
That seems like
and
a
he
waste
has
of
to
money.
laugh the whole
Listen,
time.
man,
Well,
you have
according to him, he's the only one that will be there because he's the only one that loves you.
Oh, see.
Well, then he can just entertain himself.
Well,
He does that a lot.
He does that.
I do a good job.
What up? Whoa. Entertaining yourself. There we go. There it is. Talk about
Josh, do you just
talk
put
about
on some ripped jeans on yourself sometimes?
Talk about staggering to the wood. Hey, oh.
Whoa, settle
Do
down, guys.
you just blow your nose in your sweatshirt?
No, I didn't blow my nose, but my
sure?
nose
Wow.
started trickling, so I had to get it.
So you wiped it in the sweatshirt?
It's my
It's not
sweatshirt.
really
Can you
better.
take that outside?
Can you just put soap
My
and water on that?
sweatshirt.
No, it's our studio.
Yeah, don't. It's on
And
the desk now.
studio's not-
It's on the desk.
It's right here.
Oh, never mind then. We're all good. Instead of
the
being
desk.
here, it's here. So
No,
we're-
I didn't flip it and put it
So
on.
you're the reason people are just now washing their hands in 2020.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm sorry that I laughed so hard that.
we
That
don't-
you snotted in
we
your
don't
own
care about that.
sweater.
Yeah.
we just
Yeah.
don't want the mucus.
It happened.
Gosh.
It was funny. Don't tell me
Well, when
stories
the
about
building
your boy.
collapses because of the Chinese.
Yeah.
Don't
Remember
tell
this
me
remember
stories
this
about your
moment.
boy jumping 40 feet. and expect me not to get weak. I'm sorry. That's hilarious.
What if he died? Would you laugh harder
That
or not as hard?
It would have been depressing for Quad, but you can't set me up in a funny mood and then daggone just be like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you some depressing stuff and expect
No, I
me
was
not
trying to
weak.
explain to you why it's not smart to stagger the way you said to stagger into the woods.
I mean, we'll die either way.
You're gonna jump into the woods?
Maybe just stay in your car. I don't know. Maybe
You
if you
just
just stayed
got
in his
the
car,
accident.
he would have been alive. Just say.
Well,
What
if you would have not stayed in your car and
Wait,
paid your
what if the
tickets,
car
you
was
would have
on
went to jail.
Oh,
Still funny. That's
a shot.
That's still funny. Hey, but I wasn't taking shots at people. I just still find it funny.
not in jail. You weren't.
No.
Well,
He was taking shots.
Oh. Pachoo, pachoo.
Don't put that kind of stuff out in the atmosphere. That's not funny at all.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, what if I jump 40 feet while saying it?
What if he staggers to the
That ramp it
woods?
up.
A little
Why he
funnier.
says it.
A little funnier. A little funnier.
Wow. All right, let's move on to the National Basketball Association. And there's a lot of UFC. We have a lot of interviews we're going to be putting up still. We need more computers and more people to edit videos because it was a lot.
It's
a
just
lot.
you.
It's just me and the slow 6 gigabyte of RAM computer. But we do have a lot,
Slow
we're
RAM.
putting out.
Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Todd
And
Gurley these days.
I hope they didn't really change their logo because that was horrible.
You mean
I
the
think
comb
that was
over?
real.
The comb over? Yeah, that was terrible.
I'm pretty sure that was a real thing.
It won't last.
Oh,
It's going to be like
no,
that,
they'll be third.
the
Like the
Rebels
40
logo that they tried
Or what
to-
about the 49er one from years and years
Yeah.
ago? And that just got so destroyed that it never
You don't
came
remember
out.
that one?
Mm-mm.
It
So
said
it actually brought up 49ers, and people
Oh,
lost
gosh.
their minds.
because it said 49.
Oh, it was
Well, it was bad.
horrible.
It was
looked
a really
like
bad
It looked
logo.
like a comic book.
I don't remember
it
that
wasn't
one.
good.
I don't remember that one.
It was.
When was that, Dave?
It's a very long. It
That
was a
in
very long
the
time ago.
90s, I believe.
Like maybe the very early 90s.
The early 90s? Oh, I don't remember that.
No,
25 years ago.
it didn't get.
Let me see.
It didn't happen.
So this is after the throwback year then.
No, this was going to happen before the throwback year.
No, it was after the throwback
Those
year.
are tragic. Kareem, it looks like a Laker
I don't know if you
49ers
can see
jersey.
it.
Wow.
No, it was going to be really bad.
That's bad.
They had the helmet. I mean, they did
The
a press
helmet was
conference
done.
and everything.
Yeah,
They make it a typewriter? That's terrible.
Wow.
They made it on Microsoft
Super
Word
basic.
art.
they hit it with that
Word
Smith
art.
coronavirus.
Word art.
The logo had the
I know Kareem
coronavirus.
would appreciate that one.
Oh boy.
Oh, man. That's ridiculous.
So here comes the part that Carl's probably setting us all up for NBA.
For the NBA?
Yeah.
What am I setting
The
you
Lakers
up
are
for?
the best team in the league.
I mean, they are right now.
Right now they aren't.
Who is?
What? I'm sorry. What?
Who's the best team in the NBA?
That was a hard question.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's still the Bucks right now.
They have the best record. That doesn't make them the best team, does
Well,
it?
I know, but you didn't ask you. You asked me.
Okay.
Fair.
It's a difficult time for me.
I don't mean again just because the Bucks are the best team right now doesn't mean they're going to win it all either.
Correct.
No, I don't think they're going to the finals.
I think they'll go to the finals. I don't think there's anybody in the East. that can
Miami
beat them.
will handle them.
No,
Miami
Not
will
Miami.
handle, Miami will handle the Bucks.
I don't believe that.
I don't think Miami's going to play.
Based on
them.
what?
I don't think they're going to play. them.
Based on they've beat them both times they've played them already,
But that-
and based on they
so did
match
the
up
so did
really
the Clippers
well.
with you guys.
No,
Yeah, until yesterday.
That's what I'm
yesterday,
saying though.
yeah.
But does that mean it was
Yeah.
over? Just because
No.
they beat them twice?
Yeah.
No, but I'm giving my opinion on looking at Miami's team and looking at Milwaukee's team. Toronto gave everyone what it takes to beat Milwaukee. You handle Giannis and double team him. No one else is doing much on that team.
That's
They're a one man team compared to
Everyone
the other
else.
top
But if they're
teams in the
hitting,
league.
if they're hitting,
Listen,
you can get rained on.
everything you're saying is true. I'm just saying that there has to be a special kind of personnel to do it. And yes, Miami does have that because they have Jimmy who can guard him with Bam guarding the
Yeah.
rim. But there's only two teams really that can do that: Miami, Toronto. That's it. And
That's
if
definitely not Philly.
I'm not sure if
Philly. Philly won't get past the
Philly.
first round.
Boston, maybe a smatter.
Maybe Philly has the personnel.
Philly's wrong
They,
though.
they have the personnel.
Well, you know what would help Philly?
they're a new coach.
Thank you.
A new coach. We've been saying it. We said that watching Game 7 last year, that one possession, when
Yeah.
they finally tied the game, they're like, if they don't get rid of Brett Brown after this, then this team is done.
I agree with you now. I didn't agree with you then, and
he's not.
I rewind and
some
take
coaches
that back.
are there to build you to a certain point, and then they have to go.
Who are you replacing him with, Dave?
Kenny Atkinson.
Dude, Kenny Atkinson would do a much better job.
Stop.
He's not
that
good.
bad.
He's that bad.
He is that bad.
Awful.
isn't
Awful. He's awful.
If you don't get that phone,
Just because you're dealing with Scott Brooks in your life right now, you don't realize how bad Brett Brown is.
it's still on your face.
What is it?
Any coach,
Still on your face.
any coach that isn't terrible at some point would have figured some point out in this season where Philly didn't look terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, good. They might not look good all year, but there could have been a 3-week period where you're like, okay, that's the team.
Well, you have
right
you have so much talent there, and yes, Al Horford took a steep decline this year, and that contract looks awful now. But you also have a good coach could have figured out Simmons and Embiid, and Simmons and Embiid
Simmons
under
still playing
Brown
good together.
But they really don't. They play better apart.
They've been playing better together once they put Horford on the bench.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Horford was the problem when it comes down to it.
I don't even think it's just Horford. I think if you have Horford on the floor without Embiid, it's still a passable team that could get you to Embiid being back on the court.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all you're asking for.
He could fill a portion of that role and also just be a good, smart
And
teammate.
how, after almost 70 games, this dude hasn't figured out how to stagger these minutes to where, okay, well, we know these three can't play together at the same time. How do we find a way to do something about this? And he can't. And he hasn't had like. He hasn't had 1 week.
Well, now they're
doing it right.
Now
Unless
they got the problem with everybody being hurt.
Right.
That's a different story. But I mean, the not being able to stagger minutes is to me the epitome of a terrible coach.
But I think any team when you
Scott
start
Brooks
off
thing of all time,
when you're supposed to be one of the best teams in the league, and you start off bad, just hoping like we're still fourth, we're third, fourth, we'll still get into the playoffs, have a top seed. What you risk by doing that is having injuries and dropping down to 6 right now, where they would play Boston in the first round without home court, where they're garbage on the road right now.
And with Jason Tatum actually
Jason
playing
Tatum
like one of the best players in the league.
With Kemba Walker playing really good this year in that system, Jaylen Brown still playing good.
That would be really fun. Jason Tatum going against Ben Simmons for 7 games.
I mean, you look at that right now. If playoffs starting today, we could say that. If playoffs starting today, it would be Boston in Philly, Boston hosting.
Jeez.
And I think Philly's out in 5 or 6 games.
There's absolutely
the way they are right now.
There's absolutely no possible way the way they're playing right now you could ever trust Brett Brown against Boston's coaching.
Where has Desiree been? My goodness.
I mean, probably in the 6th seed.
Because that's what
we only take top.
She's waiting for you to go out to pizza with her.
We only take top
Seriously?
4 phone calls.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Aw.
You know,
Well, I'm on the show. It's the 6th seed, but that's a 6th seed in the West. That's much more respectable.
No, you're a 5 seed now, bruh.
Oh, did they? That's right. They did just sneak up,
Mhm.
but it's close.
Ooh. So the
It's
6th
close.
seed goes to Cream.
Houston?
The Houston Rockets.
6 seed right now.
Houston's struggling.
What's going on with that? Everybody was excited.
Micro
They
ball.
went micro ball. They beat the Lakers and then
wasn't
haven't
excited.
really done it.
This was going to
I wasn't
happen.
excited.
The super small ball leads to wild swings.
That's what she said.
They can beat anybody and they can lose to anybody.
And I don't even think it's all just that, too. You are asking a bunch of little guys to play really hard for 48 minutes.
Yeah. Over and over
It's,
again.
and stay hot.
There's no way you could bring it like that
Yeah.
every single night in
Unless
a
you're
long
Russ.
season like that.
Unless you're Russ.
Which brings to me that I just
True.
have never liked D'Antoni. I don't think he's a good coach. He does certain things good, but I don't think he'll ever win a championship.
No, but see, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong so much with his basic fundamentals, like system game plan. I think for the most part he hasn't had the players, and then now this whole thing of going to small ball, that's not. That's just not completely a D'Antoni thing.
He
got that forced on him.
I feel like
I don't
Phoenix
think
should
forced on
have.
him. I think
Phoenix should have won a ring back in the day.
Phoenix would have won a ring if Steve Nash didn't pretend like he got shot by Robert Horry.
Well,
Not pretend.
No, stop.
come on.
Steve Nash.
He got thrown into that daggone
There was
scores
no
table.
reason to have Amari Stoudemire suspended for that.
Listen to me. Yes, he hit the ground. He ran into when he hit the ground.
Hit the scores table.
He hit the scores table, which is like you can push through the scores table. He didn't hit that and get knocked unconscious. That thing is soft. He hit that thing. Then he went like this. He did just like
The
that.
scores table is not soft.
Okay. Well, the one he ran into is. All right. I don't know what score is. Listen. The one he ran into is that thing was that it was the one with the rolling like ads.
Yeah.
That thing. Soft.
That thing ain't
soft. He did not hit it that hard.
He didn't have to go with you on this.
He did not have to be on the ground that long. Don't get me wrong. He got knocked down. But what I'm saying is once he hit that thing, he looked like Ric Flair, and that's when everybody panicked and ran on the floor.
Wait a minute, Kareem.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, this was 15 years ago. These things still weigh.
That was 15 years ago,
bro. Yeah, it's like 05.
It was 2007.
Yeah,
so close. I mean, that's crazy. Wow.
But so this, all right, 13 years ago.
Remember how I remember the exact year? Remember that, right? So I know what I was looking at when I saw him hit. Just so you know, this is photographic. I remember this.
I see it in my head too, and the child bounced off of that thing.
He didn't have any padding.
he was right. He got hip checked.
He didn't eat any sugar.
Hip checked into it and felt like
plant-based diets.
Yeah. What I'm saying is when he hit that thing, he didn't have to react like that.
Yes,
he was trying to get a call.
It's called selling, Kareem.
I'm not saying he didn't really get hit hard. He really did. I'm saying the thing he ran into wasn't that hard.
Wait, Kareem. So the time that his nose got busted all over, him, couldn't stop bleeding. He was faking that one too, right?
Why are you talking about something that what? What are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying, Steve Nash. We're still on Steve Nash, and that was the reason why he lost another series because remember his nose like.
Okay, again, me with the photograph memory. That was the same series. It was the next game, Game 6.
Yeah. All right.
Oh no, that was
you guys can't see it on the screen, but we're gonna look at the hit.
Okay, here we go.
The hit was legit.
Zapruder film.
Zapruder film. Oh, come on, get me right to it.
You guys, let me know when we're there.
We're not there.
It's much more awkward because I have to turn all the way around.
That's all right. Just talk through it. That's fine.
It's coming up, right?
No. Man, they moved fast.
And now
that's
their
normal.
pace is slow.
Now that's normal.
No, it's like
it's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up now.
It's the end of the
game.
Amari was so dope back then.
Yeah, especially he used to kill Timmy.
Oh yeah, well,
it made no sense to me, but he really used to.
He was the one guy. He was just his athleticism.
He was never afraid of him.
Tim couldn't figure it out.
Here we go. Bro.
But he acted like he died.
Thank you.
He acted like he died.
Bro.
Look, he got right back up.
What? He got right back up. Was he concussed? Did he stagger into the road?
Watch. Bro, he hip checked the mess out of it, bro.
I know that. I'm not talking about the hit.
Back.
No one's talking about the hit.
Like this.
Look at exactly. That's my point.
To the left.
Now, how was he so hurt 1 second ago? All of a sudden, he's everybody come off the bench. He ain't so hurt.
Hey,
look at. Come on, bro.
Look. It was a dirty play. Of course, everybody comes off the bench.
That thing is soft.
That thing is soft.
Kareem,
it's not soft.
I did see the sway in there. I can't believe this. I've had well over a decade of my own thoughts on this. Kareem's right.
I'm telling you.
I'm
telling you, that man said.
Those are vinyl things going through there with like plexiglass on the
right. Plexiglass is what I was looking for. Yeah.
No, it's the only thing that he could really complain about was the hip.
The hip
where Robert Horry hit him.
That was super legit.
Different.
Oh, he crushed him on that.
No, but I mean, but the teams are gonna get loose like that
because it's
a the hips didn't lie at all. Oh my goodness.
Plexiglass is not on that. That's all vinyl banner.
That's
all vinyl banner.
There's no plexiglass.
No, but
I always felt like he hit one of the borders or something, but I was wrong.
No,
you sound like Jim Ross trying to tell us exactly why a body slam hurts. Like, and he's right on that, on the steel chair.
This feels like a Mandela effect situation right here. I swear there was one where he got cracked into something up there.
It's all right.
I swear it happened.
After the show, I want you to run full speed, and I'm gonna bump you into this chair that's soft as all on the wood. But you run full speed.
Dave's not gonna run off the bench and risk the championship.
Into that? Well, one, I'm not gonna. One, that's never gonna happen. Who are we kidding here? Two, we're old. Like,
oh yeah, you're brittle.
You do that one time, your back is done, and mine too. So stop. Three, if first of all,
in this theory,
I run full speed. You hip check me. Yes, that hip check. Oh, I'm gonna go flying. That's happening. I'm not gonna run into that leather and be like, oh, the leather. The leather is the part. Leather's the part that really got me.
Hey, I'm just saying. Look, you still end up on the ground. You're not gonna be happy about it when you get down there. Is all I'm saying.
Right. Listen, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's Steve Nash's fault.
How did we get here? How did we get to 2007?
We're talking about Dad Tony.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so
that.
D'Antoni's
D'Antoni should have won a championship.
so-
that's how.
no,
That would have been the year.
Yeah,
But D'Antoni didn't trade Chris Paul.
Well, Daryl Morey didn't either. That was Tillman Fertitta.
Exactly. That's what I've been trying to say. Like, this dude is like all those terrible Jerry Jones or
Does
whatever.
it suck seeing that Chris Paul has been healthy the majority of the year?
He's never healthy. This year he is.
I can't
That's what I'm
believe
saying.
how,
Like,
how
I know.
wrong I was about
because
that
if
man.
he was with
You're still not
if he was
over.
with Houston right now,
He'd
the
be
way
on a
he's
shit-
playing right now, I think Houston is a top 3 team in the West.
Well, if he was in Houston right now, he would be on his third trip to the
also
I take it
IR.
back, Chris.
Also
I take it back.
also
Okay, hold
understand-
on, hold on. Everyone's talking at once. Go ahead.
Also understand, like, to me, and Russ has played great this year too. He didn't start off that great, but this last month and a half, 2 months,
he's
has been great.
Yeah.
I just don't think that way of playing is going to always get everybody involved and keep the
It
team
can't.
winning. And as you can see, since they decided to go micro ball, Harden worked with the center, and this micro ball was to unleash Russ. Okay, and that was my big thing with making it micro ball.
And you wouldn't have needed that if you didn't make the trade.
Right. My big thing in making micro ball is now you're handing the team to Russ, and I don't think Russ, as the number one guy, can uplift the team to championship level. And that's what we're seeing now. Harden, he's playing like dog crap. Like it's not good.
He's not playing
No,
well.
he
Really? His
dropped
jumpers
all
aren't
the
good.
way out of the MVP.
Well, because
No,
the
it's not even
ball,
close. Somebody had him top
contention.
5 today, and I was like, who?
he's a huge usage guy, and now all of a sudden he's a spot up shooter. Which, by the way, he can shoot.
Right.
But that's
it's
not,
not
his
how
game.
he
That's not his
shoots.
game.
that's not
Right.
how he got to where he's at.
Well,
right
and
now
it's not
either.
even just that. Like, he's not a very athletic guy, and having a center who could bail him out when he drew attention was huge for him.
Yeah.
Now you're throwing lobs to Robert Covington. It's not the
Well,
same thing.
and
You know
like,
what I'm
Dave,
saying?
like Dave said, Capella was a product of James Harden.
Oh,
That's what Dave's always
100%.
preached.
Oh, 100%.
We've said that for years.
Yeah. I mean, he worked hard too, but
But still, I mean, it fit, and that's why I don't understand what the year that Golden State ends up going to the bottom of the West is the year the Rockets break it up, which didn't make sense to me at all, knowing you knew going into this offseason that Golden State was done this year.
because
It also
Fertitta's-
tells you that one with Fertitta, but two, it also tells you that there was stuff with James and Chris Paul.
No, it's because Fertitta saw everybody else making a move, and he had to make a move.
Chris Paul is
Because
definitely
everybody
much
else
happier
made him. Oh,
right
there
now.
we go.
Oh, he clearly seems happier.
Oh, is he happier as a 5 seed than he was a 3 seed and 1 seed last 2 years? Anyway,
He certainly looks happier.
well, of course he looks happy. He's making more shots. Everyone looks happier than making more shots.
Well,
He's making more
but
shots than he
He's
was
not
last
necessarily
year.
making more shots. He's playing in a.
No,
he's
no,
playing
actually,
in
he's
an
literally
offense.
making more shots. Not necessarily. He's literally shooting
I'm
better
just saying
than
he's
last year.
playing in an offense. That's what Chris Paul wants to do.
He's much happier.
He was a 1 seed 2 years ago. And,
And by the way, he doesn't even always bring up the
But he's
ball.
also, but he's
shares
also,
those duties.
He's also healthy. Of course, he looks happier than last year. Last year, he was missing
He's
and
in great
unhealthy.
shape.
Right. Anyway, still
He's happy.
getting way off the point.
I know I'm happy.
Oh man.
Oh,
Everyone's
I
happy.
can't
but
believe it. I can't believe it.
You're
But
not
I-
happy, Dave. but
What?
You're,
I-
oh my
you're
gosh.
happy-ish, I guess.
You're not happy, Dave.
I'm happy.
You're a horrible, depressed human
I've
being.
actually.
you love
Hey.
OKC, but they don't love you.
Hey.
Well, that's fair.
See,
that's
and
definitely the
that's
case.
what leads to that. That's
I mean,
it.
they
You don't
wouldn't
say
have
that.
kept
I don't
Scott Brooks all those years or kept Kendrick
Jeez.
Perkins. But I digress. But
Kendrick
no,
Perkins talking.
oof. But
Yikes.
I mean, I've really enjoyed the Chris Paul experience. I never thought I'd say those words.
Watching him, listen, I was not a huge Chris Paul fan either before he came to Houston, and I still have a problem with all the dribbling and stuff. But just watching the way he just manipulates a defense, it's prime point guard stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like if you play basketball, that stuff's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But he's also
And-
like he took these young guys under his wing in OKC because like he doesn't always have the ball now.
Right, and
Like
there's-
they have an offense when they have their best 5 on the floor. It makes a lot of sense, and that ball flies around, and
And there's
people
something,
make smart decisions.
something to be said too about like when you like you've watched Russ a long time, and it never had to be a whole lot of the mental game to it because he was just either can jump higher or go faster than everybody else.
Or just cared more.
Yeah.
Right. Or yeah, well, it's just or sometimes it would just be like, yeah, I just want it. And that's cool to watch every now and then, but at a certain point you're going to run into somebody who wants it just like you or just as fast as you.
Yeah.
Then what are you going to do? You got to think. And that's what I came to appreciate by watching Chris Paul.
All right, moving on to the top of the West, the Lakers. They beat.
Didn't we already do this?
No, we didn't. You guys moved on and started talking about other teams that are
not.
How do you say it during football season?
Not relevant.
Peasants.
Listen, man, this was a big weekend for the Lakers. If as analysts, you guys can analyze as playing Milwaukee and Clippers. Clippers was a road game, so going on the road
with 75% Laker fans.
It was 65. Don't over exaggerate. I mean, LeBron got MVP chance, but other than that, I mean, what do you guys think? Where does this put the Lakers right now? Beating Milwaukee with Giannis was healthy until the end of that game. When I thought that injury was going to be way worse than it was.
Oh, it could have been. That was close.
Oh, that was scary. They're a flawed favorite, but they're the favorite.
And then the Clippers, and let's face it, the Clippers did look really good. Their defense is tough.
Yeah.
So you do have to break that defense, and you have to play through that. And I think the Lakers did a really good job yesterday of doing that. LeBron, I think if they play the Clippers in the playoffs, which we all hope that's the matchup in the Western Conference Final, LeBron has to be more aggressive against the Clippers than I think any other team because he can get to the hole almost any time he wants.
Well, the Clippers also have guys that can. They have two guys that can at least bother him.
Yeah,
I'll say I don't.
But then you're moving. You get around guy number one, and you're jumping into like another defender in a double team.
Your big problem if you're the Clippers is what happened yesterday, which was. The Lakers made it so if they play in a series, you can't play Lou Williams because LeBron just basically looked at it. Looked at it and said, "Oh, we're just hunting Lou Williams on offense," and they did.
You should.
They're not the first person to hunt Lou Williams.
I understand that,
they'll
but
figure it out.
But it changes some of their offensive ceiling to do it that way.
I think.
I mean, look, I will say just to that point, you can hunt Lou Williams, but if you have incredible defenders right around him. You can try and play that at your own peril.
Team's been
you know what I'm saying? Like it's not. It's a little different when you have 3 or 4 A+ defenders alongside him. So it's like, sure, if that's your matchup that you're trying to isolate.
Team's been hunting Steph Curry for 5 years.
But there's a difference. Steph Curry still puts in the effort and is still a smart defender. He's just not strong. And whereas Lou Williams does not care about defense. He undercover. He has been one of the worst defensive players for many years.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
And never gets talked about.
But it can look that way when you're guarding LeBron too.
Well, of course. I mean, he has no business guarding LeBron under any circumstances.
Even if he was a great defender, that's not a good matchup.
But that's the switch that they're going to try.
I actually think it's the other way around. I don't think it's where LeBron. I mean, maybe yes, more aggressive, but I don't think that means he should be taking more shots. I think it should be. That's a game that should be on Anthony Davis because they have. No answers.
Well, I mean, more aggressive getting to the hole, if that's more shots or not.
Right. They have no answer. Like,
no, not at all.
Zubov, no chance. Harold, no chance. At least
I was shocked. I thought Davis was having a bad first half, and then I looked at his points, and he had 15. I'm like, how did that happen when I thought he had like 5?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he gets those quiet numbers that you just don't realize because he doesn't look like he's dominating necessarily.
Is it
because
quiet?
the game comes easy to him.
Is it quiet, or is it because everyone's talking about somebody else?
It's possible.
There's that too. I'll say I don't want it to be Lakers versus Clippers because it honestly look. I'll say this. I'll say the reason.
Of course, neither do Kareem and I either because we support other teams.
As far as an NBA fan, watching like the best two teams in the league.
I wait all year to not see it.
Well, I think it would be very cool and it's incredibly unique. But essentially, it's to the Clippers' detriment. Like every time the Clippers play, even if they're the home team. It's still 80% Lakers.
Of course.
So they essentially have 7 road games.
That's what I said at the beginning of the year when I picked the Lakers to win it all.
Yeah, that's not fair.
No matter what, if they play the Clippers, it's going to be 7 road games.
That's not
the X factor, though, is Kawhi because Kawhi doesn't care.
That's true. Now that's true. That's true.
Fantastic. Take every shot.
That's true. But I mean, like that's the one thing I actually, as much as I want to see it, I also know that it's not fair.
Does that affect somebody like Paul George who loves his city that he was 3 hour and a half away?
I love how all the Laker fans hate Paul George now.
I don't hate Paul George at all.
When realistically, they'd be buying Paul George jerseys if he went to the Lakers.
He's a hometown boy.
I have zero idea how.
And then he was always Palmdale Paul.
Zero idea how that became Laker fans hate Paul George. I didn't even say anything about hating him.
Laker fans do seem to hate Paul George.
Well, I didn't say that at all.
Remember after he went to OKC and they booed him?
Okay. Well, I like Paul George. And does that affect Paul George obviously more than Kawhi because Kawhi doesn't have thin skin at all. But does that affect Paul George having a home game and then your team's kind of not being cheered on as much?
What I know about Paul George is the last playoff game I watched him in, that dude was 16 for 21 and almost beat Portland in Portland.
And by the way,
you know who decided? Never mind. I want the last shot.
Hit a great shot on him.
Right.
With Paul George playing fantastic.
What I'm saying is Paul George could have
30 plus feet.
Paul George could have iced that game, but you know who decided? No, it's my turn to shoot.
He got out of frame. Got out of frame, and then waved at him.
I don't worry about Paul George at all.
I think it's the best series out there. I think everybody wants to see it.
It's
I mean, maybe obviously you say you don't. But
well, no. I would not be disappointed in seeing it. I'm just saying in terms of just for the Clippers themselves.
He didn't say
a little
Western Conference Finals. He just said the series.
Yeah.
So if it ends up being a second round series, I still want to see that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the main event.
4 seed or something.
It's the main event of this whole season.
It's very unique. It's never happened before. It's not possible to happen before.
But even if it was two other teams with the same squads, you want to see this matchup. You know, obviously it heightens it being two LA teams that have never played each other in the playoffs.
Healthy, they're the two best teams in the league.
But and I think it's going to be a 7-game series. I don't think because Lakers won yesterday that makes it, Lakers are that much better than them.
It
because
has the potential.
There's things Clippers could have done. Like Marcus Morris could have made more than 1 point.
Well, Marcus Morris is, he never shuts down LeBron, but LeBron, he's usually known to make LeBron work.
Yeah.
And he didn't really do that yesterday.
And I also think it's a matchup thing. That's how these playoffs are. I mean, that's how all playoffs are really, but NBA playoffs specifically. Like you said, healthy, the best two teams in the league. I think the Clippers can beat the Lakers. I think the Lakers can beat the Bucks. I think if it's Clippers-Bucks, I think the Bucks would wipe that team out in 5 games.
You think the Bucks would wipe out the
matchups?
Matchup-wise are just rough for them because the Clippers
they beat them by 40.
Clippers are a switch everything team, and man, when Giannis is coming, so what you're basically saying is, okay, no matter who I switch on, is Giannis is going at 1-on-1. They ain't got no answer for that.
Well, so
they're not gonna double.
But in a series, they change their DNA.
But in a series, they still don't have somebody to protect the rim.
But in a series, if I say, okay, Kawhi, that's you,
they still don't have anybody to protect the rim.
That's not the right matchup for Kawhi.
It was
Kawhi
was last year, but he had Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol behind him.
But that's the point. Is he had help.
Mm-hmm.
He had rim protectors behind him, and they didn't use Kawhi as like go lock Giannis up, but it was go be who you are and make incredibly smart defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and make the rest of the system work by feeding him to the right places.
And low key, let's call it what it is. Giannis choked a little bit. He missed some layups that he never misses. Call it what it is. He choked a little bit.
Do you think it's more he choked, or is it just he's a little bit just a new situation?
I think it's just he has a lot of
that's
growth.
Choking.
Guess what that's called?
Yeah, that's
too much weight on his because that team is capable of a lot, but they have so much weight on his shoulders.
But he missed layups at 7 feet tall.
I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying it's a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, and you choke under pressure.
Yeah, that's why they call it. That's why they call it choking.
Sometimes you just have to grow.
You choke, and then the next year you try not to choke.
Kobe shot 3 air balls. Kobe choked.
When you're a kid,
and then he stopped doing it.
And you eat string cheese, you choke. When you're an adult, you better not choke on string cheese because you grow.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Why are you crying? You've cried more in this game.
Personal growth. Just applaud my growth, because I definitely was gonna jump into that.
But you're still going, so you're trying to get into it.
No, I'm not.
You can't ask to be applauded. You have to just be applauded.
And they did.
It's like giving yourself a nickname.
Way to go, Jeb Bush.
Yeah.
Jeb Bush.
Somebody just clap for me.
Is there anybody in the West that can compete with the Clippers or Lakers?
For a series? I mean, if you're talking about for some games, I mean in the playoffs, OKC is well coached enough
Mavericks.
with the way Porzingis is playing and a good coach, and
Rick Carlisle
I don't think Luka is afraid of anybody.
I don't think it'll happen because they still got to go through their losing thing, but they can. They
the
can make a series out
Mavs
of it.
definitely can make somebody uncomfortable. They steal a game, maybe two.
Houston can.
Buttholes get a little
tight.
Houston can make
shoot their way into something.
Win some games.
Yeah.
And
One at a time, guys.
Sorry,
Dave, you were going.
So I'd say Houston can shoot their way into something. I think OKC is professional enough to take a game or two off of anybody. I don't think they do not have the capability of beating those two teams. They just don't.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. Is I think there's a couple teams that could win a game or two and make it a series, but I don't think there's any teams that can win a series unless people are hurt. That's the only caveat.
Right, and I'm not saying will win, but can give a team a scare. Like Dallas definitely. Who else?
What about Denver?
I mean, Denver's number 3, but doesn't it feel like they've taken a big step back this year, even though they're still up there?
Why aren't they playing the kid?
Yeah, that's a weird thing with him and Porter.
Weird to me.
You're getting healthy scratches.
That's a dude that could take you to the next level.
Michael Porter's been getting healthy scratches?
Yep.
Yeah. That's a guy who can give them something they don't have. Somebody who plays basketball and is 100% athlete. They don't have a single guy like that.
They need to play him.
Do you think he's not? Maybe they think he's not 100% healthy, and they're just still trying to work it back.
It seems almost
slow
that Mike
for a whole
Malone
year.
has something.
Yeah,
maybe.
And I like that squad. I think they're, to me, the deepest squad. Except Clippers keep signing. Clippers have 30 players on their team. They sign someone a vet every week, and I don't know how much money they have.
Who are they going to cut?
Ballmer just keeps.
I just love that the Lakers signed Deion Waiters. That's my hope for the Lakers losing is right there because he's ready to shoot.
But there's zero chance because the thing is, Lakers are either going to be who they are still, because if he screws up and does what Deion does a lot, then they just don't play him. It's not like they brought him in for a huge role. They brought him in to come off the bench, and if he screws up, guess what? He gets cut. But it's the same thing like when they signed Dwight Howard. Everybody, this is going to be horrible. But Dwight Howard knew he's on his last chance to play in the NBA. I think Deion Waiters is there at a way too young age, 28, to be on your last chance contract. But I think that's where he's at right now.
But he can't play. I saw it in OKC when Durant and Westbrook were there. He can't play with good players.
He's a different guy.
Because the problem is he was always out there jumping up and down with his hand up. It's
player.
Kevin Durant has the ball in his hands.
That was the problem with him in Cleveland. The first, with LeBron the first time.
Yeah,
him and Kyrie didn't really.
I'm surprised he allowed him to come back a second time. Surprised he signed him.
I never thought signing Dwight was a bad thing. I was always good signing.
I was fine with the Dwight signing, especially because of the circumstances. I don't understand the Deion Waiters signing in any way, shape, or form. Because he's not. You were not putting him out there in crunch time in any way.
No, it's not crunch time. It's a spark off the bench, which I think he can give.
He's better than Daniels.
And if it doesn't work, like I said, you bench him. You don't have to play him. It's not like he's a starter role where you're bringing him in to be a third option.
Yeah, he's better than Daniels, and he's better than J.R. Smith. That's the reason.
I mean, he's definitely better than J.R. Smith.
Exactly.
Because J.R. Smith is garbage.
And if he can come in and get 8 points real quick.
You gotta understand, every single year, for some reason, there's a guy like that who you thought was just done with the league, who comes in and plays big minutes in the finals, and someone's saying, "Man, that was a great defensive possession by Deion Waiters," and he's really giving them troubles, and then they end up winning a game they shouldn't have won by 4 points, and you're like, "Wow, what a vet pickup who did a really vet thing."
Because you got to understand, in our lives, haven't we all grown as we get older in anything we do? This guy's 28. Obviously, he's done some knucklehead stuff. I agree with Dave. He's always thought he should be there with the best guys on the team, which I think that's been his detriment. If he knew his role, I think he would have been a great player in this league for the role he should be playing. It is a really good sixth man coming in. He could easily score like a Lou Williams type if he could take on that role. But obviously he hasn't done that. But like Kareem said, I think, you take a chance, and if it doesn't work, guess what? You just don't play the guy. But I've seen him in games take over some games and have a lot of points quick. So it's worth a shot. And you're not bringing in J.R. Smith, who has missed a year and a half of basketball. We don't know if he's even been, what he's been doing training.
He's been training. I can say that he's been training. He was training with his brother. He had been training with his brother Chris before Chris went to Israel.
Is he in soup throwing shape? Is he in soup throwing shape?
I don't know. I know.
Get to your sources. What soup was thrown? That's what I want to know.
I do not know about soups.
What was it like?
Miso soup?
What is it like? See, something lighter or what? I mean, was it like a clam chowder?
Was it a bisque?
Oof, that would have been rough.
Was it a bisque? You need to be popped.
Gorillas in the bisque.
Gorillas in the bisque.
I always wondered what soup was thrown. It's a mystery to me.
I think it was Mexican tortilla soup.
Oh.
Chicken enchilada
It's
chili
pretty
from
chippy up
Zupa's.
there.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's really cheesy, but all right. Other things that let's talk about the Kenny Atkinson
Really beat
firing at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning. We get the notification. They said it was mutual. No coach. That's like the Stan Van Gundy. Mutually stepping away when I'm about to win the championship with this Miami Heat team.
See, I don't know. It might have been mutual in this case because, I mean, you deal with Kyrie enough. You might be like, you know what? I'm good going anywhere else. It's like we had a nice, good thing going.
And it's gone. You squandered it.
And there's Kyrie.
I don't think any coach just wants to be done though. Especially Kyrie has been playing on and off. It's not like
I feel like
he's not done though.
I feel like
still
Kyrie's
around.
good.
But I'm saying right now. Why not at the end of the season mutually agree to part ways? Why 15 games left in the season, 20 games, however many. Granted, it could be planted from and a playoff team.
Could be planted by Katie and Kyrie's people, or it could be legit. Evidently, him and Dinwiddie, I guess, really got into it the other day, and
somebody else,
the team was the team is kind of
Atkinson and Dinwiddie.
Yeah,
Dinwiddie and somebody else. Yeah, and that was from SI.
Yeah,
okay.
And honestly,
real sources.
Kind of trust SI sources more than Twitter.
Yeah,
of course.
No matter what happens, Kyrie's gonna get blamed for it.
As he should.
Kyrie didn't come here really caring about the coach. I'm pretty sure he probably thought to himself, "This coach is gonna be gone at the end of the year anyway. No point to even do anything."
Well,
I do believe it was a current player.
He's already chosen his next coach.
Who? Ty Lue?
Yep.
Oh, God.
I mean, that sounds like a bad idea.
All right, but they're a playoff team right now, so it's not like this isn't a playoff team. They're 7th right now in the playoff hunt or in the race. Do you think they're 7th in the playoffs? Do you think in the East, Hunt, race?
Oh,
go for it.
Go ahead.
Tennessee.
No, you're talking. You're talking about their 7th in the playoff.
They're number 7 in the East
sequence.
And they fired their coach. What's that do for them going into the playoffs right now? And who's their coach? Do they just have an intern for the rest of the season to take them into the playoffs?
You have to. They're wrecked regardless.
Do they have a first round pick?
I don't know.
I think
Boston might.
I think they're finally clear of all. I think that might be. Is that finally done?
Yeah, the Boston thing I think is done.
Well, plus this year, does it matter if you have a first round pick?
That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if they even care about making the playoffs.
No, who knows? But I mean, when bringing up the Ty Lue thing, I mean, that is a good coach for a KD Kyrie team because you're just rolling the ball out anyway. Those guys are going to decide what they're doing. Just like whoever's coaching LeBron, you're there to coach some other guys and coach when he's not on the floor. But realistically, when he's on the floor, he's running his offense. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what plays you put in. It's like, like with David Blatt, that motion offense is cute. I'm going to isolate up here at the top with the ball.
Real cool. Get the center up here instead of pick.
Yeah.
So horrible.
That's how it is. And I mean, if the two of them are healthy, it could be a nice destructive little pick and pop combination there.
Yeah, no.
I mean, except for the fact that they have to deal with the corpse of DeAndre Jordan because they love him so much.
They didn't hide that either, did they? He's they already announced he's starting next game over Jared Allen.
Why?
That didn't take long.
Wow.
Well, that
was another point guard creation. You talk about Capella. That was
oh yeah, 100%.
Chris Paul, 100%.
Yeah, he made himself better last year. He was making free throws and stuff.
Yeah.
Remember when he went back instead of going to Dallas, they were like, "Yeah, we'll give you some low post touches." And Doc looked at CP, and was like,
"Wink."
Hey, we said low post touches, and he listened.
Just enjoy this commercial that you got. That is where my charity begins and ends.
Yeah, exactly. Here's an assist to your bank account.
You're right. Lob that right
while you're in a dress.
Oh God.
Hey, it still pays, right?
So no. According to Josh,
don't do it. Don't do it.
According to Josh, that was part of. I'm sorry, Wolf. That was part of Hollywood's conspiracy.
Is it the Illuminati?
Yeah, to get DeAndre Jordan in a dress.
Not just DeAndre Jordan.
But why even him? Who cares? No one.
Black.
No one even remembered that till you brought it up. I didn't remember that at all till you brought it up. Or maybe DeAndre Jordan was like, seems funny, and just did it.
LeBron was in a dress
because
they
control LeBron.
I thought he was part of the Illuminati, Josh. Make your choices.
Whoa, wait. What was that? What did you just say, Kareem? Go ahead. No, finish what you just said.
No, I did finish it.
I didn't hear you.
I said you didn't hear my 4 words?
No, Dave talked over you.
They control LeBron. Hollywood controls LeBron. I mean, I just want to know.
Not Hollywood. It's not.
Who?
It's not
them.
It's not so much Hollywood. You're using Hollywood as the like lording entity.
Okay, stop telling me who it isn't.
It's
the Shriners.
It's just the people that control things.
Who is that though? Everyone has them. These people.
There's lots of different people. The Bilderberg group. Look, trust me. People on
the Build-A-Bear, like the workshop where you build teddy bears.
So why do you feel so comfortable saying their names? They're so dangerous.
Yeah.
You guys can go find out what you need to find out. I ain't putting nothing out there.
You just did.
No.
I'm just very
limit to
confused as to why so many people know this secret society.
Look,
bro.
Kareem, no. Seriously.
Tell me their names. I'm gonna say it right now. I bet I show up tomorrow. Tell me the name. Send me a text. I'm saying all their names.
Candyman.
Of course it is.
My phone's dead.
You write them on a dry erase board.
Write down those on those coasters.
We're just gonna list these names.
Write down those coasters I stole.
I will share this duty with Kareem, and we'll just.
I'm gonna say all their names. I'm gonna look up their wives, all that stuff.
Go for it, Kareem.
No, I'm just write it down right there.
Kareem, I'll say this. When I was
say their names.
Well, first off,
say their names.
My husband's in the Illuminati.
James.
Go ahead, y'all do your thing. It's all right.
Don't be scared.
I'm not scared. Trust me.
Are you sure?
You seem kind of scared.
You look a little scared.
I'm not scared.
The only thing Kareem's scared of is that
triangle.
What?
You just
you did it.
No.
Wow.
You're in there. That's why.
Wow.
No, Phil Jackson.
Wow.
Only thing that Kareem's Kareem's scared of is that new Candyman trailer. That's it.
Oh, I'm not watching that. No.
That's the one thing.
That looks super spooky. First of all, I'm not watching it myself because then yes, I'll die. And I'm not watching with other people because they're gonna see me
die.
They're gonna hear me how I yelp. Nah, bro. And I don't mean like I don't mean like how Karens yelp. It's a different yelp.
One star.
Oh, thanks, Karen.
I'm not watching.
So name 2 names, Josh.
I already told you. Just look.
Build-A-Bear.
No, Build-A-Bear
Workshop.
Build-A-Berg.
Oh, that's
Steve DeBerg.
Steve
Not
DeBerg.
Steve DeBerg. The Build-A-Berg group. Look it up. Google it.
I don't want to. I want.
We just want names.
I want to out them right now.
There's people a part of the group.
What
you can
are
look
their
it up.
names?
I'm not saying their names on
Fine.
live.
You know what? I'll play your silly little game.
Go for it.
Let's go.
Look
So
it
you're
up.
scared. You're not saying their name because you're
Not
scared.
But you just
How
said
do
you
I
weren't
spell this?
How are you not
Bilderberg
scared?
group.
Certain things. Listen. All right, I'll put it to you like
Bilderberg meetings.
Teach us. Educate us.
I'm not even gonna start getting into where I got my information.
Help get us woke.
No, it's not about being woke. It's just about being
Tired of being
aware.
asleep.
Just be aware. Be aware of enough stuff.
Coco?
What?
Coco,
Look,
beware.
beware.
You had to say what?
Why do
I
I
don't
hate
respect that.
I hate
don't.
you so much.
I don't respect that at all.
I hate you so much. I can't even move. I'm still on
All right,
Coco
Build-A-Bear.
Build-A-Berg. Look it up.
You said you would tell us something.
My girl Stacey Abrams in there.
Stacey Abrams
Can't be all that bad. I'm all good with Bilderberg and Stacey
I
Abrams.
like
in it.
Stacey Abrams.
So
I
she
like
controls
Stacey Abrams.
LeBron James.
Stacey Abrams is so in deep that she couldn't win an election in her own state. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because she lost.
There's a lot
on
of these
purpose.
names I don't even recognize. A lot of
Yeah.
people from all over the world.
They lose on purpose so other people could win.
So this,
No, all right,
so the
so look.
Bilderbergs let black people in it. Man,
Look,
come on, you already lost me right there.
Listen.
They
Stacey
control
Abrams
the
in?
black people.
Hey,
I don't let black people
No,
in.
here. You know what? I'll
You
here.
buzzed
Look.
that buzzer of the night.
Kareem, I'll do Kareem. I'll do
on
one
the
for
Kareem
you.
shade scale.
Look a little too Nubian for me.
Too Nubian.
Not brand Nubian. Anyway,
Are you Nubian to the neighborhood?
oh my god.
And like,
I mean, I would name the names, but you don't know who any of the. Stacey Abrams is the only recognizable name.
right, go ahead.
Vernon Jordan. There you go. There's one.
Vernon.
I recognize
Jordan?
Vernon.
That's definitely a black dude's name.
Yeah, no, that's because it is. That was
He
the
coached us
fixer,
Clemson, right?
That was the fixer with Clinton.
Jared Kushner. There's one.
And these are new names.
That piece of trash.
Jared
These are new
Kushner
names.
and Stacey Abrams in
This
the
is
same
2020.
group.
Yeah, these are new names.
That's hard to believe.
If you start going back, if you go back 6, 7, 8 years, because they don't do it every year. It's not an every year meeting. It's a meeting that happens a few times.
David
every
Petraeus, the former general.
It's just listen.
That's one I recognize.
Hold on, I would like to hear this. Go ahead.
Anyway, I'll say this. When you research a little bit, it's like anything else with Google. Like, you know how my Google say stuff about the Kardashians because I didn't watch the Kardashian show.
This is usually when I mute out the chat group. Go
No,
ahead.
I did not.
Anyway, so Google started giving me way too many conspiracy theories things or too much in terms of just, oh yeah, you like to know more about this stuff. And so whenever it does that, I stop and I start watching more comedy and give me more Chappelle show. Yes, please. Thank you. Because you don't want to look
I
because
don't understand what any of that is.
well, I'm just saying.
He's scared.
Do your
So
own
you're scared.
research. Do your
He's
own research.
scared of
I'll
the
talk to you off.
Illuminati.
No, I'm not scared of the Illuminati.
If you have to start searching comedy, anytime you're watching something or reading something and you got to jump to comedy, that means you got scared.
Yeah, I'm scared of
And so
Candyman.
before I go to bed, I got to watch
Scared.
comedy.
Listen,
because I just
listen,
watched a horror movie.
Listen, first off,
and I got to
first
watch
off,
comedy before I
first
go to
off,
sleep.
no, that's
So
not what I'm saying.
You're scared.
Stop saying that. First off, because
Okay.
I'm telling you, I'm not.
Okay, you're scared.
Thank you. First off, not scared.
Not scared of
It's
him.
about people tracking.
No, you're scared
it's
of the Illuminati.
No, people tracking your stuff. Anybody tracking your
So
stuff.
my phone's gonna be all like tracked
Everything's
up now.
tracked. Yeah.
Exactly. So the more I do not put out there that you know something, you're in a better situation than if you know too much.
I don't think that you putting out something would actually be putting out anything.
Okay.
It's just me.
All right. Just saying. Anyway,
No, you're not saying anything.
They'll probably look at all your other search history and be like, he's really just looking.
So
stuff
what
up
do you
on
think
YouTube and
happened? Do you
Google.
think that you Google searched them and then one day you were just like,
no.
clear cache, and they just never were able to find it again? Or
No, they can
'Cause they're that
find it whatever
powerful?
they want.
so what? Confused.
So what does it matter?
I'm not gonna keep
So what does it
looking.
matter?
I don't look. I'll put it to you like this. I don't want to know, but so much, just know enough that it's like if stuff starts going left, you know, when the stuff that Steve talks about is stuff that's real.
Well, dude,
you got everybody
I'm like Joe. I want to know.
Steve's high most
What
of the time.
stuff?
You can say that Steve's high a lot.
No,
and
that's
you
true.
can
Look
hear
here, baby.
you can hear some of the things he says because he's not as crazy as you think he is.
What stuff? Like
Just any of this stuff, like in terms of being prepared, in
Well, give me
terms
an
of Todd being prepared, like y'all laugh or y'all look at stuff like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, and it's like when stuff goes sideways, I'm gonna be looking at y'all. I already told Quan he's the first person I'm killing because he thinks it's a
You're
game.
gonna kill
I
me.
never
Hey,
Whoa.
hey, look.
So
When you-
wow.
look, wait a minute, look.
Oh,
wait,
they
wait,
kill
wait,
somebody.
Love
wait,
like
wait,
kill.
what
Love
the
like
heck?
kill. I didn't know that was the name of the game.
Wow.
Love like
He's gonna
kill.
kill somebody.
Wait, I'm gonna tell you
Wow,
why.
talk about psycho. Talk about
Look,
psycho.
look, when stuff goes sideways and Quan doesn't know how to fire a gun, and he's like, "What's happening?" Bop! I already told you to stop playing.
So
Pay
you have to be
attention.
the one that kills him?
I got it. Hey, look, it's like The
That's
Walking Dead.
weird.
It's trying to take care of him.
And-
Are you
and-
like
and-
OJ?
and-
You're
and
gonna kill him 'cause
saying
you
you're
love
not
him too much?
scared. And you're saying you're not scared. That's paranoia.
It's not
You sound
paranoia.
completely scared
Paranoia.
right now.
Not
That's paranoia.
All right, all right.
Okay, hold on. That is
All right.
That's like almost
That's
a little
paranoia.
definition. It's like
Not the definition of paranoia.
almost literally
I'm not
the definition.
afraid of my shadow, fool.
that's
I'm
not the
saying if
definition of
things go
paranoia.
left,
Paranoia ain't afraid of your shadow.
paranoia is being
You're gonna
afraid of
if
everything.
you're gonna shoot somebody
No,
because
that's
you
not
don't
what
think they know how to
paranoia is.
shoot a gun.
Right.
Anyway,
That's called paranoia.
That's called, right. That
no. I said I'm gonna shoot you because you don't believe anything. So when things go
I don't
crazy,
believe anything.
I just feel like-
when things go
Or
crazy,
I don't believe every single
you-
conspiracy that you believe.
I feel like
I'm
a
not
Chris Rock
giving
Step
you-
for
You believe
Susie moment
every
right here.
single conspiracy.
All right, let me
I
ask
don't
a question.
believe
Let me
every
ask a question.
single
I don't believe
conspiracy.
Has
anything.
anybody famous ever died that was not a conspiracy?
Sure,
Who?
plenty of people.
Name them.
That's not a person. I don't know
No.
a person named Plenty of People McGee.
Well, you already
Old
said
people,
Kobe, you already
like,
said
there's-
Kobe was a conspiracy.
Yes. So name a person that's died in the 2000s that wasn't a conspiracy. Name one person that you actually believed. Like, okay, that's how they died.
I mean, people that are sick. There's plenty. There's plenty.
But couldn't they have made them sick?
I said famous people.
They did.
Who was sick?
I can't name somebody that's died recently.
Nipsey Hussle was a conspiracy. Yep. Kobe was a conspiracy.
I don't know about Nipsey Hussle being a conspiracy. That one I don't know.
But you don't accept the official version, even though there's a video.
What? No, of Nipsey? No. I don't know.
Right. So you don't accept the official version.
I assume I accept.
You have to study more.
No. I assume I accepted that one. That one was more on some. Yeah, that one was more.
He turned down a Bilderberg invitation. That's why he got. That's why he got clipped.
They sent one of their.
It's funny.
Powerful black people to go shoot him.
It was Stacey Abrams. We just didn't know.
It's funny.
Her and Vernon Jordan was driving.
Stacey Abrams shot him.
According to Josh, I don't believe anything though. So
no, you don't believe you don't
believe all these conspiracy theories.
Well, no.
I believe very, very few.
It's not that you don't.
Conspiracy theories.
It's not that you don't believe anything.
Conspiracies out there.
But
I'm not going to.
You immediately
watch X-Files.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm saying you're saying what I said. That I said.
America.
I'm saying.
Go ahead. I don't know what you're saying. You're almost stuttering. Go ahead.
I'm saying you immediately disassociate anything from being true. Like it's like, oh, that's not.
No, because you guys immediately associate everything that happens with that's not really what's going on.
Coincidences happen. Bad things just happen sometimes.
Sure.
They can't always be.
No, not everything is calculated, but a lot of things when you're starting to get into numerology and different things.
And how's that going to affect me if I choose to jump on that and talk about it and worry about that all the time, or if I just laugh it off?
It's not.
I think it's hilarious that that there's a lot of people that think every single thing is a conspiracy.
Listen. It's not a fear. It's not any kind of fear. It's more or less just making sure that you're aware of things. I don't choose to be like I don't use the word woke. That's a stupid word to me. But I also choose to make sure that when you see things, you don't just let what they bring.
Or you don't just take it and say, no, it's this instead. Big conspiracy.
I think what he's trying to say is, like, for example, like you think that for some reason, for whatever reason is that, let's take this back to sports. You think that Kobe's death is part of a conspiracy.
Don't do it.
Listen. We're not going to. What I'm saying is, let's just say that beforehand somebody had known, and then after the fact, someone was like, oh, that was totally a conspiracy. What would it have changed?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
The exact same thing with 1 October. People died. But when you look and see that the CEOs and the presidents of MGM Grand took out millions of shares.
No.
Wait a minute. It's not. This is
you
not.
Weren't there.
This,
you heard they took out millions of shares. The only way you could have known is by hearing it. The only way you could have known. You weren't there.
Listen.
And by the way, if CEOs take out millions of shares, right? It's news.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's truthfully not.
Yes, it is.
It's truthfully not.
You cannot take millions of shares out of a casino and nobody reported. You can't. There's a stock market for all this stuff. You can't do it without somebody reporting on it.
And it's a whole thing.
Neither here nor there.
Okay.
My point is, you heard that happened.
We're getting into sports right after this.
You didn't see the video of them doing it. Somebody told you. Somebody you never met in your entire life, and you believed it.
It was reported on TV, on the news. That was something that was reported.
On a news report that...
Yeah, I heard a lot of news reports around that tragedy.
The same stuff that comes in, some of it isn't always fake news. Some of it is actual news, but some of it also gets smushed down and people don't talk about it very long. They don't keep the...
It was on Babylon.
They don't keep the news cycle going on it. Sometimes they say it once and then it goes away.
I did read that on The Onion.
Whatever, bro. It is what it is.
It's a joke. Wait.
It's a joke. It's cool. It's cool. It is a joke.
So let me tell you what the problem is.
No. It's cool. It's a joke.
So we just said that people you can't just take shares out without people noticing. And you said yes, you can. But now you're saying also what was on the news. So then people noticed.
Yeah, and then it was immediately the story was killed.
Cheryl Miller puts mayonnaise in her spaghetti.
Can I ask a question?
That's true.
Since he always threw up the diamond sign, is Diamond Dallas Page in the Illuminati?
Probably.
I think he was.
Hey, here, Dave. Dave, I got something for you, though.
Okay.
Next time you walk down, you see a billboard and somebody's randomly throwing up that for no reason, just think about it.
all the time. I took that from Chipper Jones.
Yeah, all right, well,
because
that's 2 outs. There's a difference. But
Nope,
also,
that's not
why?
right.
Well, I'm just saying.
Texas Longhorns do that.
That's fine.
Correct.
That's fine. Yeah, hook 'em horns. There's a whole lot of people that hook 'em horns outside of an arena where Texas is playing. There's a whole lot of people that are
There's also
not
like
saying rock
Eastern
and
European
roll.
Mafia does this stuff, and that's where like wrestlers got it from, and that's where they do all their stuff from.
That's where they got it from.
There's a lot of different things.
Just look.
I don't think that Scott Hall was in the Illuminati.
All I can
think
tell
that
you,
he saw
it's
like
not-
European
it's
Mafia
not-
guys do it
it's
and
not-
thought it was
listen,
cool.
Listen. It's
Imagine
not.
him giving like the
yo.
keynote speech.
Hey yo,
I threw up 2 fingers. That means I got 3 less fingers than what you have. Now, if you multiply that by 3, that's 6 times 3 6s. The Illuminati. That's Scott Hall right there.
Oh,
It's
man.
funny.
Welcome to Infowars.com.
It's funny. That's all right.
oh god.
It's all right. It's all right. It is what it is. But I'll say one thing.
Oh,
Be
but-
prepared.
I'm
You keep telling us
I'm
you
not
can tell
saying,
us
I'm
one
not saying
thing,
be
but you tell
prepared.
us you can
I'm
tell
not,
us one
I'm,
thing
no,
several
no,
times.
I
I'm
will
saying.
shoot Quan because he does know
no,
how to shoot a gun. in the
look.
zombie
When stuff
apocalypse.
goes sideways, I don't want to hear nothing. Just keep it to yourself that you figured it out, because it'd be too late and I'll be already out.
I thought you just said that it wasn't going to change anything.
So if
though,
you're,
if we
if
knew
you're
about
out,
it. You
we're
just
not
said it
going to
wouldn't
be
change
talking
anything.
to you anyway.
Listen,
So,
1, I don't really have anything to lose, and 2, I'm just gonna ride the whiteness through it.
Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, this is my
You're
white.
gonna ride the
this
whiteness
is my
right
white
into the
homie.
danger.
Oh, this is my. I'll be like, this is my white homie Dave. I mean, my homie Dave.
I'm covered.
Yeah.
We're good.
What
I'm
is
covered.
going on over here? Go ahead and ride
Okay,
it
that's true.
right
All
into
right.
the
That
storm.
part's true.
right
Was
into
that
the
an
storm.
explosion?
Hey, what's that? Hold on.
Right into the storm,
This does
babe.
not seem right at
Wait,
all.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Enjoy that.
You rascals.
Ooh, basic Nikes on. This sounds like a job for the authorities.
Your air
Not with the
viscose
Monarch.
khakis.
Not with the Nike Monarchs. I hate you so much.
Shorts right above the knee.
Braided belt.
Got the Tom Steyer on.
Clip for my phone.
The Tom Steyer
Clip
belt.
for my phone.
With the
Oh, yeah.
jalapeno
Oh,
poppers.
you gotta tuck them in.
You need some
Of
jalapeno
course.
poppers for you and your friends.
Oh, that's a lot of spice. Come on, buddy.
Now,
Come
do
on,
I go with like a polo shirt or like a
Tucked in polo.
tucked in polo?
In jeans.
No, it's jean shorts, maybe.
No, like
Khaki
khaki
shorts.
shorts, but like not even the Nikes, like the, you know what sandals.
No, khaki
You know what
shorts.
sandals I'm talking about.
Yeah, no.
You got to expose all the toe and heel.
Oh, we're way too far off the grid. at this
Tevas?
point.
Who?
You want Tiva sandals?
Tivas? Like Nikki and the Bella Twins?
No, not total Tivas.
Total
The Tiva sandals.
Tevas. Oh my god. I don't even want to know how this happened.
The
You see
white
it-
the white guy barbecue starter kit.
You see Elimination Chamber last night?
It comes with a spatula.
Oh, it comes with a
I
spatula.
haven't finished it
It
yet.
was spatula and just salt and
I
pepper.
haven't finished it, and it was
Just salt
every
and
part
pepper.
I've seen was terrible.
all right. Dak Prescott,
There it is.
Hey,
back to sports. There's a contract out there. I think the deadline is Thursday.
This evening.
He'll sign.
No, Thursday. Unless the world's ending this evening, which it could be, and we're not
1201.
prepared.
We'll see.
Y2K.
Well, all I
Be
know is one
prepared
thing.
with your computers in the year 2000
You're not going to see it because Josh will have already killed you.
That's right.
for no reason.
Oh,
Just
you.
because I
Oh,
didn't
There's a
believe.
reason.
Just because I didn't believe.
You just don't realize.
what's going on? Bang! It's too late. You had your moment.
That makes no sense.
It makes all the
That
sense.
makes
Hold on.
no
Wait.
sense.
Are you packing right now?
No.
Okay, then.
So I'd probably
Next.
get you.
He's safe. He's safe now, but best believe.
So wait. If
so
it
you
goes
wouldn't be
down,
prepared
then you're not
either.
even.
It has to be you.
Oh, listen.
Coral.
I'll tell you.
You
Coral.
said it has to be me.
Well, I'm just wondering why it has to be
If
you.
you
to kill
guys
him.
don't see Josh on the show again, it's because he threatened my life on the show
multiple times.
multiple times.
That's got to be an
this
SEC
is
violation.
safe.
This just
Quad.
reminds me of like
You're
Chris Rock.
safe, but you got look.
I'll tell you this: the revolution comes. I'm
Yeah, I'm
a
a killer first. It's the exact same situation.
Love Susie, though.
Exact
Love
same
Susie.
Listen,
situation.
when someone tells you that you'd be the first person to die, you don't hang out with them anymore. So
No, but
I mean, that's usually
you know what I
what
mean
it
when
is.
you're in
and
a
people
scary
think
movie.
I'm joking. If you don't see him on the show anymore, you know why, and it's not a joke. But because I know if something did go down, he would not have my
He's
back.
already
so he already admitted that.
No, he might have your back. Might shoot you in it.
You're straight through your front.
Wow.
Oh my
Yikes.
Yeah,
this is probably
and
exactly
that's what
Dak Prescott.
that's what happens when people watch too many YouTube videos and read too many.
Listen,
and
listen.
go down the rabbit trail. They act like that.
Okay,
They get crazy.
Stop. Because look,
So Dak Prescott.
Look,
sources have said the
keep
Cowboys had an
engaging.
offer worth $33 million per season,
105 guaranteed.
and more than $100 million guaranteed on the table.
And he turned it down.
The complete, well, not fully yet. It's still on the table. There was a report somewhere that they turned it down. I haven't seen it everywhere yet, so I don't want to just jump on that because they do have till Thursday to either restructure or structure or figure out what they want to do, or if they want to use the franchise tag. That's the deadline is by
But the
Thursday
funny
to
part
use
is,
the
you
franchise
know
tag.
why he's going to try to fight this is because the franchise tag is going to put it right around like 30-something million.
But
And they know that going in, so he can either take the stability or he can get franchised.
And that's what you have to think about. Do you want the guaranteed money that's going to, you're getting it guaranteed, or do you want to take the franchise?
I don't think he's good. I
When's
take
the
the money.
deadline? Thursday?
What
Thursday
Cream? What do you always
for
say?
the franchise tag.
Cream, what do you always say?
NFL contracts ain't worth the paper they're written.
There it is. So
But
that
your
105
guaranteed
million
money counts.
Yeah.
Not
Ask
for
Antonio Brown now.
Well,
Yeah.
you just have to not go crazy.
Oh, well, the no color guarantee.
Not guaranteed if my feet chap and then you take my buddy away.
His
Feet didn't chap.
How many?
That man did stupidity.
How many
They
years?
chap.
How many years is this contract supposed to be?
I think
You
it
said
was
7? No, okay. Probably like
No,
It's about 35 a year, so
35 a year, and how much is the total?
it's over 100. Well, over 100 guaranteed.
400 guaranteed. I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell you.
nobody's made it clear.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If there's a couple of reasons why you would turn that down. One, ain't nobody at his age signing no 5-year contract. I want my 3-year contract so I can be free agent again while I'm still in my prime and get another big payday.
Yeah.
That's number one. So and they probably know that. So they're like, well, let me give this guy this 5-year amount
stretched
of
out.
what the price is right now for a quarterback. Now in 2 years, 3 years, this is the bargain.
Up more.
Yeah.
It's-
It's a great
there's
deal.
there's no wiggle room for him to make more money. Another thing, they're giving him till Thursday night. The Players Association has till Saturday night to either vote yes or no on the new collective bargaining agreement.
It's sadly going to pass.
If that passes, that's
hope-
so stupid. I hope it
I hope
doesn't.
it will.
I don't think it will either.
It's the young rank
I
and
don't think
file
it will.
players that are going to make it pass.
I don't think it will.
Either way, if that passes, the salary cap goes up, and now Dak just signed a contract on Thursday night.
Yeah.
But now the
That's
salary
yeah.
cap's not the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tons of reasons why he would have turned that down. And I'm pretty sure that's the reason why he hasn't accepted anything to this point. He was like, well, can we sign the new CBA first? Or see if there's going to be one?
See what's going on.
And not just that, but if there is no new CBA, they can franchise him and transition Amari Cooper. You probably want to see what's going on with that too. But they're giving until Thursday night.
and
Yeah.
with let's say the NFL is adding more games. What does that do to everybody's contract? Because now you need more money for that.
And now
for
I
those
need more
extra
money.
games.
Or the NFL, they'll pay you less for more games.
Every
Well,
part
that's
of
what
this,
they're trying.
every
to-
part of
Exactly.
this comes up. The real fear, I was actually reading a report, actually a couple reports that said this, is that they're, even though the owners passed it and ratified this, the owners are actually kind of hoping that this doesn't pass because they really want to push for 18.
Well, let me tell you something. I read this thing today, and it was Eric Reed, and he sent it off to two of his attorneys, or his 2 attorneys, whatever, to read over the collective bargaining agreement, and they were like, there's absolutely no way you should sign this.
No, there's no way the players should sign. It's a terrible deal.
And you're locked in it for 10 years. There's no opt-out after 4 or 5 years, and then once the gambling money starts coming in,
Yeah. You're
now they're
completely-
making
you're
more
completely
money.
locked out of that.
And if players aren't going to get 50-50, if they're getting 50-50, then okay, well then no matter what comes up, at least we're getting half.
That's why DeMaurice
They
Smith
put
is
it up from
awful.
48 to 48 and a half? Huh? And he wants to play an extra game? A whole extra game.
They have-
and the
So do
playoff
you guys
teams play an
think
extra
with
game.
Dak, real quick, before we jump into that, do you think he should sign this contract or just go ahead and take the
Deal with
franchise tag?
deal with
Take
the
the
franchise
franchise tag.
tag and see where all of this stuff goes.
Get the guaranteed money.
Because realistically, I mean, if it goes up, because he's not going to get more money. There's not another team out there looking to pay Dak.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's getting that kind of
He's
same amount of
bargaining
money
against
for 1
himself.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to bet on himself and see what happens.
And it's probably takes them right out of Amari Cooper, because if they franchise him, The whole thing's guaranteed, and there's no way to use language to work around it. And that just
That is what it is.
That's hard cap, and Amari's probably gone. Which, you know what I'm saying?
Amari
that sucks for
already
Dak.
might be gone.
He might be gone anyway. That sucks for Dak because that's when Dak took off. When Amari got
Dak
there.
played a lot better with him because he's a good receiver.
Yeah, he's a really good receiver, and he had a guy he can count on to be where he was supposed to be.
And you lost Cole Beasley this past year to Buffalo.
It's a tough decision for him.
Starting to lose a lot of pieces.
And I was mad because I was telling them before the show, me and my brother were walking up to the media room at T-Mobile, and Dak's walking in with us pretty much. So we're walking towards the elevator. I'm just looking, I'm like, that's Dak Prescott. So cool. We get in the elevator, and I just turned to him because I'm hoping the door is shut so I could ask him more questions. But I just asked him who's going to win the fight. He said he has the Asian girl. She had a name. And then, he asked me who I had, and I said, I got Zhang Wei Li also. And
you didn't say Oriental?
Oh.
I'm just asking if you did.
No, it wasn't Steve.
And then he asked me who I have in the men's, and we talked about that real quick, but they were in the wrong elevator. So the doors didn't shut yet because I was definitely going to ask him about it. Now, he wouldn't have given me an answer, but I still wanted to ask him about the contract.
I think sometimes players will give you a quick answer.
Yeah, quick one. Do you think that
he might because there wasn't any cameras?
I'm willing to bet that he didn't say the black guy when he asked about the main event.
No, he didn't.
He did not say that? It's weird. But he said the Asian girl? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Who knew?
I mean,
Josh, their problem.
It's bad. You could have helped out Dak. Could have helped him.
I mean, I told him.
And then this man come with the O word. Oh, it's just not good.
That's what. Nope.
Not that O word.
Somebody had put that on Facebook, and it was one of my black friends, and everybody was like letting them know, like, hey, that's a racial term.
Was it Steve Huff?
No. He wouldn't have changed it.
See, but that you don't call him to Stevie. They just throw Steve out there. See.
Because
he asked the question. He didn't say.
By the way, Steve has.
He didn't say that.
Steve has put all his thoughts
Steve.
on Asians very much on the record. So
True.
I mean, I'm not really selling Steve out for anything. If y'all have listened to the show, you have heard Steve say some much more inflammatory stuff than I've said.
Sure,
definitely. He's definitely not here to defend himself either.
Wei Li.
Well, let's go about Chong's.
Zhang Wei Li or Wei Li Zhang. They keep. I'm not sure. They keep flipping it.
It's
Zhang Wei
based
Li
on
now.
Americanizing it or
Li
not
Zhang,
Americanize it.
And then I think her camp says Zhang Wei Li.
Is Zhang Wei Li.
Yeah, because that's how you
Because it's
say it.
Yao Ming. That's why Yao.
Family name first.
That's why it was Yao on the back of his jersey.
So there you go. You guys, got
Yao.
The more you know, Dave. You better get woke. Anything else in sports before we go off air and let Josh educate us more?
No, Josh.
Because we're doing that off air.
Josh is rolling out.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I'm going home. I got stuff to build.
So this is Josh's last show.
What, a fort?
No, my new house.
A shrine.
I have furniture to build. Oh my god.
A bomb shelter.
Panic room?
God. A panic room? Yeah, that's it. No, a nightstand I just built and other stuff for the house.
Armory?
You built the nightstand?
Yeah, I had built all the furniture.
A rack for the gun you're going to kill Quan with?
Built a stand?
Where'd you build it?
In the bedroom?
In the workshop?
So you did all the woodwork
workshop?
in the bedroom?
What?
You did all the woodwork in
the
bedroom?
No. I had to
You built a stand and built a bird.
Get off the air.
No, I'm serious. Where did you build it? And you put boogers all over.
Yeah, remember you blew your nose into that earlier.
It's been so long, and I didn't blow my nose. I literally went like that. It was not even.
I don't know, man.
Anyways, I'm not putting the Kleenex on my shoulders.
Oh god.
A used Kleenex. So I still want to know where you built it at.
You're gonna put a non-used on your shoulder. It's just
The nightstand
that seems weird.
The nightstand was for
General.
the bedroom. I made it in said bedroom.
You made it in the bedroom.
Yes or no?
How many times I have to say I made
You put in work in the bedroom?
Get off the air.
No,
like,
I'm
what
just
are we
saying,
even talking about
I don't
right
know
now?
how you did.
We're not the ones who getting off.
How you built a whole dresser in a bedroom.
It was a nightstand
Okay, a nightstand.
and the dresser.
Oh, so it was an undresser?
I said dresser. He corrected me, saying it's the nightstand.
Well,
and the dresser.
I just built the nightstand. I had already built the dresser.
You built it or you put it together?
I put it together.
Why is it got to be a nightstand, by the way? Why is it have to be a nightstand?
It was wood,
Did you get
and I made it. I made it into what it ended up being.
Yeah, Kenny Rogers Roasters, it's the wood that makes it good.
Get off the air.
Download the Gorilla Cross app. This has been Unnamed Sports Show, powered by Precharge.
Oh, my goodness.
Powered by Precharge.
My phone died.
Oh.
You missed that moment.
Your phone's been dead since you walked in. One day he'll come prepared with a charger.
If only Precharge provided charging.
You should have pre-charged your phone before the show. You should have been prepared.
Or carry a cord one time.
I mean, take your own advice. Prepare.
Are we off the air yet?
Download that.
I'm scared, Josh. I'm scared, Josh, real quick.
You're fine. You can throw it up. You're fine.